Here I am, was that? And then someone on the.
All right, let's get started. 7:06. I'll start the roll. Percy?
Here.
Sarah?
Here.
Victoria?
Here.
Kim?
Yes, here.
Dean? Here. Could someone close that door, please? Andrew? Here. Jay? Here. Daniel? Here. Hussein? Demetrius? Jeff Hartwick? Jerry Lewis here. Richard Nieberg? Yep. And Lori Rinberg here. Matt Thompson. Yes. Okay, a reminder to those attending during public comment, you may hear colorful language that some might find offensive. The City Neighborhood Council has no ability to control or regulate the content of speech that is protected under the First Amendment. Please remember that we're guests at Radford Studios. It is important that we remain courteous and respectful to all Radford staff we may encounter during our time on the lot. We need to respect and comply with all regulations on the lot. Please remember that our permission to enter the private property here is limited to the access to rooms in which we hold our meetings and any restrooms or support facilities that exist. We are not clear to wander the lot indiscriminately. Please do not go to areas of the facility where you have no reason to visit under your Studio City Neighborhood Council access. Please remember that the presentations and questions from stakeholders are not an opportunity to engage in two-way conversation. We have a pretty packed agenda, so we'll be pretty strict once we see back and forth conversation. So we're not being respectful, we're just trying to be respectful of those who are here at time. To ensure all stakeholders and board members are given an opportunity heard, will be timekeeping as part of the allocation of the agenda. So once your 2-minute allocation is over, we will ask that you complete your statement, and then the next person will come up. Okay, and we'll really stick tight to that because we have, like I said, a full agenda and we'll have a lot of speakers. Okay, the first agenda is for public comment on non-agenda items within the board's jurisdiction. And we'll call,
yep. Harry. Is it Greenberg?
Nope, Engelberg.
Engelberg.
Close enough.
Sorry.
It's all good. Sound, it's working? Closer. Good. Hi, everybody. I'm Ari Engelberg from Harvard Westlake School, here to provide the monthly update on River Park construction progress. Some highlights to share with the community. B permit work will take place on Valley Spring and Whitsett Avenue.
B permit work is work on the sidewalks and on the curbs. This will mean a partial lane closure on Whitsett from Valley Spring to the fire station, and also on Valley Spring from Whitsett up to the clubhouse gate, so only about 100 feet. This also means that the sidewalk on the west side of Whitsett will be closed for about the next 4 to 5 weeks. The purpose of this work is to actually increase the public right-of-way along Whitsett Avenue and to address multiple areas of unsafe sidewalks that have been unturned
by tree roots, and that those of you who have walked Whitsett in the past know has been a prior condition and a hazard for many, many years. So that is being remedied by this work. In addition, 12 new oak trees will be planted along Whitsett Avenue from Valley Spring up to the fire station. Along the west and south of the property lines, but inside the construction fence, we continue to do plantings over the next 2 weeks. About another 1,000 understory plants and shrubs will be planted around the property. This will be ongoing work that will not involve heavy equipment, so should not make significant noise. There will be 1 or 2 delivery trucks per week of clean soil and mulch to support that planting. There will also be a couple of asphalt pours for the driveway that leads from Valley Heart to the gymnasium. Asphalt is poured from a hopper and rolled flat using mechanical equipment, should not produce a lot of noise. The tennis courts are getting their final textured colored surface being applied as we speak. That material is applied using a sprayer and a compressor, so it may be mildly audible when that work is taking place. That ends my report, but of course, I'm available through the Harbor West Lake website, through the River Park website, and email that most stakeholders have to answer any questions.
Those white tees gonna stay there, or you can take her down?
The white golf balls?
Yeah, wait.
The white golf balls were actually designated historic. And so they were, so we actually, of course, what nobody knew, yeah, that's all been redone, that stays. The golf balls actually are an interesting story. They were deemed historic. Nobody had actually looked at them in 70 years. They're made of almost pure asbestos. And so they had to be very carefully taken down by people in hazmat suits, carefully wrapped, where they were shipped off to a facility in San Gabriel, where they were lovingly restored, and then 18 months later put back up on the golf tees. So yeah, they're a permanent fixture of the site.
All right, thank you, Eric.
I'm happy to address questions via email. No, but via email. Yeah.
Really not.
No, by email, by email.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Francesca, we're up.
I'm speaking on the,
Will you please come up to the microphone? Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
good, thank you.
Tess Taylor. Got it.
My people. Right. Can you hear me in the cheap seats? All right. Good point. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tess Taylor. I'm the president of the Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council, and I provided each board member here with a one-page copy of our Declaration of Commitment to Representative Government. I want to briefly explain why we adopted it and why it matters to every neighborhood council in Los Angeles. Had Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council followed the advice of city staff, we would have been foreclosed from advocating on an issue directly affecting our residents, an issue you'll hear about more later tonight. We would have suffered an unwarranted intrusion upon our freedom of expression and our duty as elected representatives to represent those who elected us. Our sovereignty as neighborhood councils is sacrosanct. Our advocacy should not be limited by jurisdictional boundaries or restricted by city staff. The city attorney staff told Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council that we were out of our lane when we took positions on 2 state assembly bills supporting the entertainment industry. We disagreed. Our stakeholders' interests don't stop at the city boundary, and that prompted this declaration. We put it into practice, and last week, Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council advocated directly to our LA County supervisor on an issue affecting our residents and received a response 24 hours later. That's representative government in action. Identify a problem, represent our residents, and go to the official who can act. We, the neighborhood councils, are not merely unpaid field marketing representatives for city government. We must be free to take our community's collective views back to government. The roller coaster resolution later tonight puts this principle into practice. We adopted our declaration in June 2025 and asked the Studio City Neighborhood Council to consider it in October. It may have stalled in committee. Since then, 9 additional neighborhood councils have adopted it. We hope that you will consider adopting it again. Thank you.
Thank you. Anne Miranda.
If other people want to public comment, you have to fill out a card and
They just took the part in, but then when you finish.
Good evening. My name is Kate Miranda, and I live at 4342 Beeman Avenue in Studio City. I'm here today regarding the abandoned property at 4343 Babcock Avenue. For 3 years, my neighbors and I have submitted dozens of complaints to the city, filed LADBS code enforcement tickets, and called LAPD regarding encampments, numerous property violations, and hazardous brush against our property lines. We were ignored, and early this morning, our worst fear became reality. At 3:30 a.m., a fire was started at the Babcock property, and it reached the back of my property, resulting in smoke and fire damage. KTLA has picked up the story, and starting tomorrow morning, they're broadcasting the footage of this fire and 3-year paper trail every hour on the hour in the morning news. Thank you. Tonight, I'm coming to our neighborhood council as our community champions. We need this board to use its official voice to force City Hall to act. I'm asking for the board to take 2 immediate steps. First, issue an urgent official board letter to our council member, the city attorney, and LADBS demanding emergency nuisance abatement and perimeter fencing under LA Municipal Code Section 91-8903. Second, place this hazardous parcel on the immediate agenda for your next public safety or land use committee. And to our council district field deputies in the room tonight, I would love your direct commitment on the record to meet me at my property tomorrow morning to see this damage firsthand. And I brought some photos for each of you to see the gravity of the situation and how bad it could have been. I yield my time.
Thank you, and sorry that happened.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Lionel Mars online. You have a public comment?
Yes, sir. Yes. Lionel Morris, speaking for myself. I'd like to share with you some city updates. Kenneth Mejia, City Controller, published a new press release today titled "Open Up the Books." Controller Kenneth Mejia demands transparency over the 2028 Olympic Games. Requests LA28 hand over financial records and statements. After years of woefully inadequate financial records and statements, Controller Mejia submits a financial data request to LA28 to provide transparency and accountability on the Olympics. Number 2, today, the LA City Public Safety Committee, chaired by John Lee, discussed Rasha Shields, who has been reappointed by Karen Bass to the Board of Police Commissioners. Her term expired approximately 2 months ago, but the city attorney allowed her to continue serving on the board, whereas if any other city commission, anyone whose expired term would have not been allowed to serve. So this is inconsistency from the city attorney's office, and they discussed Rasha Shields' reappointment. Just FYI, the Winnetka Neighborhood Council, Winnetka, submitted a CIS in opposition to Rasha Shields' reappointment because the Board of Police Commissioners have done nothing to hold the department accountable and to provide oversight. Number 3, the Mayor Karen Bass submitted 5 individuals to the Climate Emergency Mobilization Commission. There are council files. I don't know the top of my head, but there are 5. Just FYI. And number 4, Isabel Jurado, Councilmember District 14, submitted a motion for report back on a motion on the creation of an Environmental Justice and Advocacy Advisory Commission. And finally, I just want to say thank you for having this hybrid meeting, and democracy needs to be heard, and I'll keep fighting for the rights of all Angelenos, especially for our Valley residents like ourselves. Thank you, and power to the people, my friends. Good to see
you, Lionel.
Vincent and Tess Taylor. That's what coming up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Elizabeth Stasser. Stassen, and
I have bad handwriting.
and there's also one for David Stassen. And are you speaking together or separately?
We can
Great.
speak together.
Okay.
Oh, separate.
You got it? You gotta be very careful. Vote for the candidate that supports the police, that wants more police. That's all I'm gonna say. And I live on Farmville too.
Oh, well,
I guess the other thing that I would say is, all the work really happens in the committees. So there's a public safety committee, and there's a monthly meeting for that, and I would encourage you to come and give that input, because the board meeting merely acts on the motions put through the committee. So the committee meets every month. The committee then comes up with motions, and then those motions come through at the board meeting, which is what we're at right now, and then they get voted on and then put forth to CD4 and CD2.
so I was planning to come tomorrow night, but I heard that it's been rescheduled. Is that true, or am I hearing wrong? It's canceled.
But Jeff Hartwick, he's the chair for the Public Safety and Homelessness Committee. He's online.
Okay,
So he heard what you said, and
Many of us are also committee chairs, so we would
Yeah.
hear you here and get in touch with you or take you back to our committees.
do we have a
So-
date for the next public safety meeting?
it's on our calendar. Next month. I think
It's
like
probably a month from tomorrow.
right.
Yes.
Right.
It's always on a Thursday.
Thank you.
And stick around for our senior lead officer's report, maybe he'll tap on that.
Great. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Make sure he gets pizza too. Okay. David Stassi.
Hello. Yeah, we live in Colfax Meadows. We lived in other parts of Studio City. We love the community. I just want to echo my wife's sentiments and say that the whole neighborhood, and probably all of Studio City, I know other neighborhoods, everyone lives in fear. You know, we walk our dogs and all you do is turn your head, look at what car is that? Why does that car have tinted windows? The neighborhood WhatsApp is constantly, there's a car double parked. It's been there for 10 minutes. Someone call someone. There's so much fear. And yeah, we'd like to get this on the agenda again. I know I've missed my first meeting. I know it's been talked about. Matt's a good friend of ours who encouraged us to come so that we can take action. So we're here to do that. And to the comment about supporting the mayoral choice, I would just say that the budget for the LAPD is $2.1 billion for the next year. So I don't think, you know, I don't think a mayor is the city council in LA has a lot of power. The mayor is held captive by a lot of people. So there's a lot of money in, this is one of the richest places in the world. You know, there should be when your alarm goes off and, you know, if your alarm company doesn't get in touch with you and they dispatch the police show up 8 hours later. I am not exaggerating. That is the story every time you hear about it. Like, so that is not acceptable. It's not like, you know, they don't have the money. I don't know where the money goes. Maybe it's the helicopters that are over our houses all the time. You know, I don't know, but we're here to, you know, take action. So thank you.
Thank you. That is, it's the comment card, if there's anyone. Any.
I also live on Farmdale and my house was burglarized 3 years ago. And I didn't get anything back, but I'm happy to say the guy who had done several robberies in the valley eventually got caught in Simi Valley. And because he was in Ventura County, he was actually prosecuted and went to state prison. And I think he's still there, or he was going to be there for a while anyway. But just to compare counties, and this was before Nathan Hochman took over in LA. And the other thing I just wanted to say was in regards to Beeman, we had a similar situation. You may remember the night after the Palisades and Altadena fires, we had a fire in Studio City. That house has sat being waited to be torn down all this time. And CBS LA did a story last Thursday, which finally has nudged action on LADBS to get it done. But I will say, we have 15 kings and queens in this city. They're city council members, and they have extraordinary power. And the city council member for Sunswept could have easily called the head of LADBS and gotten this done a long time ago. Same for Beeman. So just remember that.
Same councilman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have another stakeholder online, Adriana. You unmute your mic. Adriana?
Hi, yes, I'm trying to connect.
We can hear you.
Hi. Hello, my name's Adriana Serrano, and I am a resident of 12534 Moore Park Street, which is adjacent to 4343 Babcock. I just wanted to give my information and my feedback in regards to the incident that we had this morning at 3:30 in the morning. And we did have another neighbor who lives actually directly behind 4343 Babcock give her information as well. We have been having a problem with this empty lot for several years. We have submitted multiple complaints. We have reached out to LAPD. We've had multiple incidents. Maybe 2-3 days ago, there was another fire that had started, and we can smell smoke. We constantly call, councilwoman for support, and we have not heard anything back. Unfortunately, today, as Ms. Miranda said, we had a fire, and a fire that can quickly spread into other residents, other properties, and create, a big issue. So we really need the support of the council. We need the support of the neighborhood to find ways to rectify these issues that we are having in our community. And especially when it is a building that backs up to another resident that can cause huge damage. I believe the owners that live either on that house or the house next door have children. This is dangerous. We need to find a solution. And as we had mentioned earlier, there will be news coverage. So I believe there is a representative there for the councilwoman. You need to act and act fast, especially right now that there is an election coming up. This is very important. We will continue to fight, and we will continue to send messages until we are heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Adriana. We have one.
Just a quick comment on all that was going on with Beeman and Babcock. I live across the street. Just real quick. Just want everybody to know, I've talked to LADBS and I've talked to LAPD, and I have information. So once public comments are over, if you'd like to talk later, I can share information that I have from LADBS and LAPD.
Okay, thank you. Yes. All right, Ben, you want to unmute your mic and provide public comment?
Hello, my name is Ben Bayouth. Can everyone hear me all right?
Yes, you can, Ben.
Hi there. I actually live at 4336 Beeman Avenue, next door to Kate Miranda, who spoke there a few minutes ago. Again, I know we've said a lot about 4343 Babcock, but I just want to drive a couple things home just so we all know the gravity of the situation here. This fire is really something that needs to be served as a massive wake-up call to the entire neighborhood and the governing officials who can control what actually happens in our neighborhood. This is an ongoing issue. This property has been vacant and left under half construction for multiple years, and it has served as a haven for all kinds of unhoused to coalesce there and trade amongst each other and do who knows what, bring drugs into our community, especially with a brand new school coming up at the end of the block. This is something that is a dark stain on what's going on here in our neighborhood, and I feel fear for my children. I have a 2-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl. I had someone jump my fence from the property into my property. I called the police. They jump back over. The police show up, and the only thing the cops can say to me is that, I'm sorry, we can't do anything because we don't have proof that the owner hasn't given this person permission to be on their property. And it just seems like there's a little bit of reasonability that's missing from laws like this, because when there are no trespassing signs, someone is clearly squatting in their own filth. there needs to be some reasonability among the officials to say, let's take this person out of here. Let's make our community safer. Let's keep the people who are paying to keep the community safe and alive doing so. So I really hope the people who have the power to do something do it. Otherwise, God forbid there's a casualty on your hands. It would be just horrendous. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thanks, Ben. Right, now we have announcements by government representatives. And the first one up is Juan Jung. Are you here? Or
Juan is here, but I'm Jay Anderson. Would you like me to come to the microphone? I'm the district director. Oh, wait, what are you? I can also do a same office.
Okay, come on up.
Same office.
CD4.
Same office, same person, same people. I'll be right here. Oh, pardon me. I'll talk quickly. Is this good for you? Okay. Yeah. I'll talk quickly so as not to take up too much time, but I wanted to introduce myself. First of all, my name is Jay Anderson. I'm the district director. I know I email a lot with Andrew. I've probably met many of you in this room as well. I know Kate and I have been emailing. I'm very glad you're here. I had a whole list of things that I was going to update on, but I like to pride myself on being flexible and responsive to the moment. And the thing to be addressed and to corroborate all of the things that have been said by both Kate and Ben on the call is that, yes, this is a big problem. 4343 Babcock is a tremendous problem. I cannot apologize to you enough on behalf of the city. It is absolutely a failure. This property has been a problem since 2021, 2022. If you go on the LADBS website where you can verify complaints that have been filed, they do go back as far as 2021. The department has not followed through on its orders or its notices, and this is where we have ended up. It is my worst nightmare when a constituent should suggest to me there is a risk of fire, I am concerned, and then does come to pass. And I have witnessed myself a failure of bureaucracy to address your issue. I am sorry. I will happily meet you on your property tomorrow morning. Juan will also join. We watched your videos. They have been shared with our comms team, with the council member herself, with the chief of staff. We've also spoken to Osama Yunan, who is the GM of LADBS. I think the one thing, if I'm being incredibly transparent with all of you, that this is one issue that was a very unfortunate situation and has been long-lasting and long-standing, but it is one of very many. It is one of very many issues, not just in Studio City, to include Sunswept. I'm sorry, the gentleman who mentioned the Sunswept fire at 4132, where are you at? So there you are. At 4132 Vanetta Place, that has also stayed there for much too long. A brief update on that one is that is my understanding per the staff at LADBS that due in no small part to the media coverage, which the community geniusly made happen, that asbestos abatement should have begun there today. We reached out to confirm. I have not yet heard back from them. And there are plans to begin demolition shortly. Thank you for pushing your community. No, that is what I just acknowledged. That is what I just acknowledged and congratulated you for having orchestrated that, which should not have been the case. I only say this to say that DBS issues are everywhere. There may be one right next door to you. If you see a vacant lot that you would like to have brush clearance on and it's stalled out, that is likely why. We get these all the time, and we do as much as we can to move them along with the department, and yet there is still tremendous resistance. As the district director, all of these things eventually come to me and then move on to the chief of staff, and I'm the person over here rattling cages. I am very sorry that my rattling did not protect you and your home and your families who live around that. I'm going to end my update there because that is truly the most important thing happening in this conversation today. But I'm very hopeful that this will be dealt with quickly, retroactively, considering a 5-year standing problem, as well as for 413 Vanetta Place. Yeah.
Right, question.
Yeah, I have a question. What about 4229 Radford? It has been empty for 42 years.
I can say that
42 years.
I personally can only speak to the issues on which you have corresponded with me. So I've not met you yet.
Okay, I'm Pamela.
Hi, Pamela.
Yes, and I've told Sydney, I guess he's no longer there.
Nope.
But I've told Sydney several times about 4229. So I would love to get your card and correspond with you. And I'll talk to the.
Yeah, but I'm going to say this. The reason I am here today, other than 4343, was also to introduce you to Juan Jung, who is the new Sydney, who is working, yes, who is working with me while I train him on how to be an exceptional field deputy for CD4. So you will get both of our contact information.
Any other questions from the public before we, questions? Back in.
Your name
Jay Anderson.
and you're the district director.
Correct. Correct.
Nice to meet you.
The pleasure's mine.
My question is, it seems like there's a pattern here that if it makes it to the news, it will be dealt with. Are you suggesting that everyone who has a problem should go directly to the news so that it gets prioritized?
Yes.
Not a bad idea.
I am always supportive of communities doing whatever they need to do to obtain the governmental response that they require.
So, yes.
Or have to do. Or you have questions, right?
And I apologize because I don't have all the details, but I did hear something about, a change to the encampment rules where encampments will be allowed in some areas. And I want to know if our neighborhoods will be protected from that as we already struggle with fires and.
Before I answer that question, what's your name?
Sherry, sorry.
Sherry. No, nice to meet you.
I live just down the street.
I assume that what you may have heard about was about 4118 areas. 4118 is the no standing, sleeping, sitting, camping ordinance here in the city of Los Angeles. And recently, Council District 13, Councilmember Hugo Soto Martinez, put forth a motion to repeal between 10 and 13 4118 areas in CD 13. That has nothing to do with CD4 or CD2. That was something that was a CD 13 motion.
So it's not something that you see.
I mean, any council member of the 15, if they chose to repeal their 4118 zones, and not all can be, but those who have been passed by city council and have been established that way, they could make that choice. But that's at the discretion of each of the individual council members, and they do come to a vote of the other 15 council members.
We have time for one board question?
Yeah. Thank you for your comments. I'm still left a little bit concerned because you cited this problem as, quote, one of many throughout the city. I would imagine that most people here are not really focused on what's happening throughout the city. They're more concerned with what's happening in their neighborhood, which sounds pretty dire. But the other thing is you identified it as a failure of bureaucracy and mentioned the police department. I didn't get enough of a sense.
I don't think I mentioned the police department.
I believe you did.
I said LADBS.
Okay. So either way, I didn't get strong enough of a sense of what role your office plays in mitigating this problem.
I can answer this in two ways. And the first one is going to be to explain how this process should have unfolded. In statute and in the actual responsibilities of the city of Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety is charged with issues of this nature. When they're reported as a complaint via the DBS complaint system, which you all have access to, it is for the public. It is like 311, but it is for building and safety issues. Like I said, there have been complaints on this property going back since 2001. When that complaint is issued, a DBS inspector should be, in a timely fashion, dispatched to go out and inspect the issue, to verify the claims, and to then issue whatever corrective action is required. Oftentimes that begins with a notice of violation. A notice of violation will be delivered to the property owner, and it will have a time frame in which they must come into compliance. After that time frame has passed, if we're functioning in the world we would like to be functioning in, the assigned DBS inspector returns to the property to verify whether or not those changes have been made. If they have been not, they may then issue an order to comply. That is a strict, this is what's happening, fees are going to be assessed, you now have this much time to come into compliance, at which point, when that date has expired, the inspector will return. And if it has not been done,
well, my question would be, what role though does your office play in following up with them? And
that is our role. Our role is following up. When the public informs us that there is an issue that has not been addressed, it is our job to then go back to the inspector and say, can you please give us a report on why this has not been dealt with and what the status is?
Okay, I have a very straightforward question.
Okay.
I'd love a straightforward answer.
Hold on.
Why didn't that happen? Why didn't you follow up?
Oh, that's not the case. That's not the case at all.
Okay, so.
The case, I would like, no, let me respond.
No, hang on. When you say you rattled cages,
Correct.
what can you show to prove what cages you rattled and when?
We could show you an entire correspondence of emails back and forth between inspectors since Sydney List was in office,
When was
since
the last one?
the last one
The last one,
this morning.
after the fire. Prior to the fire.
I'm actually going to decline to continue answering this interrogation simply because I don't have the information in front of me. I can look in my inbox and see when the last correspondence was. But may I?
We have a lot of other representatives to talk, so, government representative, that's enough time to see board.
Sure.
Send that information to us, that'd be great, but we can't use up any more time.
That's perfectly fine. I'd just like to make clear that my answer to you was not being evasive. It was in service of giving you the most correct information.
Okay.
My pleasure.
All right, now we'll have Denise, so CD will go to 2. Before you start, I'm gonna make sure the HF is there.
Yay, Denise.
Yeah.
I love fan club.
Yeah, Jerry, I'm here.
Okay. Was something you wanted to mention?
I just had a quick question for Jay. I just wanted to point out that the issue at Whitsett, near the 101 underpass, that encampment does appear to have been cleared, which is a good thing. And it looks like they locked up the gate adjacent to the condos that was a problem area. That appears to be a good thing. But I just wanted to bring to his attention that some of the homeless individuals have migrated across the street, torn open the fence right near I guess it would be the east side of Whitsett, south of Riverside, south of the Wash, and have become entrenched in there. And I just wanted to put that on Jay's radar. He was helpful with the encampment on the west side of Whitsett, but now it appears to have migrated to the east side, and to just keep an eye on it because there's a lot of brush and there is a concern about fire hazards during this time of year. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Sheriff, I would suggest you email that to Jay because he was busy with a few people in the room.
That's what I was gonna
So I
say.
don't think you heard much, so
Right.
you follow with an email.
They have, that's an ongoing correspondence.
All right, you got that one. All right, Denise Shaw, CD2.
Good evening. I'm Denise Shaw, Council Member Nazarian's office. Before I get into updates on issues, I do want to announce that we are having another block party. This is, we're working with KCRW. Can you hear me? I don't know what this is. So we are working with KCRW and we are doing their last summer nights block party. We are shutting down Magnolia from Lancashire, not till Vineland, but mid-block. There's going to be another beer garden and there's DJs. If you're familiar with KCRW DJs, I think you would know them, but I don't, so sorry. Madison McPheron, Peanut Butter, Wolf, and Luxury, which I hear is a big deal. But it'll be a really fun night, regardless. So I hope you all will be there. I don't know if any of you attended our NoHo, our football fest. That was in July, and that was a lot of fun. So
What's the date on that?
Oh, well, that would help. September 5th, at 6 o'clock it starts, 6 to midnight. That is our big event coming up. And then I wanted to, I know there were a couple items that I was asked to talk about, just to follow up on what Jay said about the 4118 zones. In Council District 2, the council member will not be removing any of our zones. He's supports 4118 zones. He did vote in favor of that motion because he felt that that is how that council member wants to govern their area. But he was supporting how he's going to govern his area, not what will happen in CD2. So those will not be removed in our district. I also want to mention that the unarmed model of crisis response, which is UMCR, has now come to District 2. And what this is, it's trained mental health clinicians and outreach workers. So instead, when you see somebody having an issue, a welfare issue, emotional distress, mental illness, now when you call 911, they will send out a team. We're working with Exodus Recovery, and they will go, it's 24/7, and they will go out. They're unarmed. If they feel that they need police support, they will then call police in. But it should be, I haven't heard yet about anyone calling, but it's up and running. And the last thing I know that it's on the agenda is the roller coaster issue. So as of right now, Universal is installing more areas. I think they said they're addressing 2 areas of sound with more sound barriers, but I don't want to talk about that really now, because I know you guys are going to be talking about that later. And the last thing I do want to bring up is that the Toluca Lake Beautification Partners.
Denise, just go back to the.
Yeah.
Because I believe I read somewhere that the council member was gonna have a town hall or a community meeting about.
Universal is hosting a meeting, yes.
It's not.
Yeah, they have the day. Thank you, I forgot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just all found out about it in the past day or 2.
So that's not.
So I don't know.
It's not open, it's a tiny meeting.
It's a what?
It's a tiny meeting,
So
basically county.
It is
city,
open.
And no, it's not general public. It's a show and tell, it's not a question and answer.
Well, Universal told me that the public can come, that it's the smaller group, but it's being open to the general public. So we'll find out the details on that, because yeah, that's what I was told today. So, anyway, but we could talk more about that later. Last piece is Toluca Lake Beautification Partners has been working on their streetscape plan for Lancashire Boulevard. We sent out text messages to Studio City residents because it abuts Lancashire. Studio City abuts it, and wanted to make sure that Studio City also was aware of the proposal. It's a streetscape plan that will be put into eventually to the updated Southeast Valley Community Plan. So with that, it's things like greenscaping and widened sidewalks, pedestrian crossing, public art, enhanced lighting. There's a whole plan, and I have a link, and I don't know if I sent you that information to put on your website. So I'll send you that. And then we have a couple more weeks to make comment. And then once that's in the community plan, then it's a lot easier to implement. They don't have to do EIR. They just, once the funds are available, then they can pull permits and do the work. It's Lancashire from Riverside to the river.
Riverside to the river.
Any, finish?
I'm done.
Any public questions? Back, Scott, I know.
Hi, I want to touch on the 4118 issue. I understand that Nazarian offers courtesy to the other council members by supporting what that district wants. But I think people should know that the courtesy is not returned, and they vote no for other council districts that want 4118. And in spite of that, they will vote no, the sort of socialist bloc, as you will. As far as your question about the 4118s in our area, there are none in CD4. Councilmember Rahman does not have any, unless there's been a new one. There hasn't been any in Council District 4, so they won't be canceling any because there aren't any. They're only in CD two. Thank you.
Barry?
I just want you to thank your boss for being proactive on LADBS cleanups of various kinds. And in fact, your office has notified the media of cleanups in CD2 that I've been assigned to go shoot. And it's like the direct opposite of what have been talking about earlier with these other two situations in Studio City. The media had to get the job going, and your boss got it going on his own.
I will relate. That question, the mental health, yeah. How do we get a hold of 911? 911, okay.
Board member question? Matt?
Thanks for coming. For that unarmed response, it's called 911. Before you see some random person walking around who's sort of aggressive, and then if there's only the police response, it's probably relatively slow, but will it be faster now with these unarmed responses?
Yeah, that's the idea, is that they'll send them out. So you'll call 911, the 911 operator will transfer you to them. Theoretically, that's how it's supposed to play out, that they come pretty much right out.
That's your question.
Matt? Denise, thank you for the update. Can you ask Toluca Lake Beautification Partners what the status is of the medians that they were given money to by our neighborhood council, Greater Toluca Lakes, for beautification? There are two
Medians or off-print?
Medians.
Well, let's talk about that.
I believe it falls into your streetscape plan. I think it's within that area between Whipple and
the Vineland median.
Yeah. Should we take that offline?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can talk to you about that.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Denise.
Kim, did you have something?
All right, we have representative from the Phillips office.
Me.
Hello, everyone. Anthony Thornton from Assemblyman Nick Schultz's office. Just want to give you all a few quick updates on what's going on with the state and our office. Some of the first things I do want to say that the deadline to get the bill to the governor's desk is on Monday at 11:59 p.m. So right now, the legislature is working double time, passing bills through Senate the Senate floor, concurrence on the Assembly floor, and vice versa. So if anybody has any opinions about bills, this really helps the member see what the community is saying. When he goes on the floor, he looks at his iPad and he says, okay, like this is the numbers from the district, and it helps. And you can always, contact me. My name is Anthony. You can call the office and I can register your comments. Just a few quick things. Another thing from the member in Sacramento as well. So today he's had 2 bills moved to the governor's desk. He still has about 9 bills on the Senate floor. One of the bills that, if you follow the member, that has been being posted about a lot is AB 2319. That's a $100 million tax credit for post-production here in California, standalone. That is still on the Senate floor. So if you're interested in the film industry and if you would like to know more, I would probably have more in the next coming days, but hopefully that can get to the governor's desk by Monday, 11:59. Just a couple more things on what's going on in the district. The member has various community coffees. He just recently had one for the San Fernando Valley, but the next one will be in Burbank. And I think that might be October 10th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, October 10th. That is a way for the constituents in the community, and you don't have to be from Burbank to go to these community coffees. That's a great way for the member to first hear your concerns firsthand and ask questions. So if anybody has, any legislative questions or, questions about anything really regarding the state, put him on the spot and he answers all the questions. And just kind of for my role in the district office, I do cover transportation in the office. And I would say that, dealing with Caltrans is sometimes a hassle, but we do have certain things in the office that we do, right? If you send me a CSR, I would log it in our system. in our database for Caltrans to see as well, and then we follow up with Caltrans. This is a direct streamline, and we also have a kind of like a template for the office to guide constituents on what to do. It seems like, unfortunately, a CSR needs to be implemented for us to kind of address the situation, especially as an office. So if you have any old CSRs that haven't been followed up on, please resend them to me so I can follow up with the Caltrans team to see what's going on. And if you guys have any questions about any particular bills the member voted on, I don't know every single bill, but I'm learning a handful of them, especially the ones that are more so in the media, or the bill that went to the governor's office. You can always ask me. And just one more quick thing, the member does chair public safety in California. So essentially, if you don't know what that is that it's a policy committee that the member kind of has not the final say, but he chairs the committee on what kind of goes through to the assembly floor and eventually to the governor's desk regarding public safety in California. Things with penal codes, things with, changing laws, things of that nature. So happy to take any questions about Caltrans or any. Yeah.
Public first. Any questions from the public? All right.
So, I don't know if you lit a fire, but our discussion we've had about the on-ramp, off-ramp alignment, they finally started doing some improvements. They did a massive cleaning. They've done it twice. And I've been talking to them. Hopefully they'll landscape it. Right now it's just old palm trees, a lot of ivy and mulch. So, I mean, it's one of the largest on-ramps in our area, but it actually looks like they're, so I just wanted to give you a thank you.
And also Caltrans is notified that, we've seen before in the past, before my time in the assembly, we are taking volunteers for community cleanups as well. And it can be on weekends. Weekends are back. So I know, for a while it was just, during the week when I don't know if they think people don't have work, but now it's on weekends. So you need 15 people, I think, in a time, 15 people and 3 proposed dates. And that's something that us as the office can facilitate as well. And that's for those that don't know what that kind of looks like. It's Caltrans shuts down the freeway for the community. You help Caltrans pick up the trash, and then Caltrans also does maintenance on the side. And I've done them before in Valley Village, and with 15 volunteers, it gets cleaned up pretty quick. And that's a way, that also, if you're interested, I can facilitate.
Jeff Barkwick, you have a question?
Yes, good evening. Hi, Anthony. I'm Jeff Harwick, a board member, chair of the Public Safety and Homelessness Committee. I've reached out to you about the problem at Whitsett at the state right-of-way there near the 101. It looks like they've gotten that side under control. Looks like they've chained up that gate, and LA's gotten rid of the homeless under the, not gotten rid of, but moved the homeless that were under the underpass. But unfortunately, it appears that individuals have cut the fence down on the state right-of-way on the east side of Whitsett, just under the 101 freeway, and are now ensconced in there. So I would like you to take a look at that, to reach out to the proper state authorities and find out what they can do to build a sturdier fence. I've been on this issue for several years with your office and your predecessor's office about getting funding for a wrought iron fence all along that area, because once the fence is repaired, inevitably people come back and they open it up and they're back to the bad behaviors that occur there. So I reached out to you on July 22nd about this issue. I haven't heard back from your office, so if you could respond to my email, I would really appreciate it. But I think since your assembly member is chair of the Public Safety Committee, and this is a public safety issue, I think you would have some pull to get a fence built that could help out our stakeholders. Thank you.
Yeah, I know that the office and the member have kind of spoken about these, like some Caltrans probably have like these black iron fences. What we've heard about from Caltrans is that, well, we don't have engineers, so if the gate breaks, we don't have anybody to fix these iron fences. So that's been the response from Caltrans. But we are looking at ways that maybe we could ways of partner with maybe federal partners to get funding from the federal government. That's something that kind of just brought up in conversation. So I'm still going to try to see if that's possible. But as of right now, that has kind of been even to the member and the other office, that's kind of their response, and kind of going back to like what the role is in our office. Essentially, even with the member coming into the meetings, we just facilitate the best we can. But with the iron fences, that's something that maybe we could see what we can do, in the future regarding, talking to our federal partners, or I don't know, but we're still trying to kind of brainstorm around that.
Tess?
Hi, Anthony, I'm glad to hear that you guys are organizing cleanups, and we would be happy to participate in that. Our neighborhood has did them for over 2 years in a row, once a month. But we gave up because there was no evidence that the areas cleaned would stay clean.
Yeah.
In fact, they seem to be, and so if the assembly member, once those cleanups are scheduled and conducted, could make some effort or find some way to keep the areas from becoming repopulated with trash or illegal dumping, then, the efforts of the community would not have been in vain.
Right.
And, I'm just putting that out there, and we love the idea of wrought iron fencing too, which we brought up before with your predecessor.
So just to kind of, that's something that frankly I talked about with Caltrans today. Like, if something gets cleaned up, like, is there a response? Is there like we're gonna come back in 3 months, we're gonna come back in 4 months, what does that look like? And that, like I said, the answer, unfortunately, what I got is if I don't have the CSR, we won't know. So what I'm going to try to do, and with the help of the community, try to schedule these CSRs more often, even if I haven't heard from the neighbors, because they get dirty so quick, right? So kind of be able to just keep following up on these areas.
Absolutely proactive. Thank you.
So that's what I'm going to try to do, but it is going to take some help. Our office is only 4 people, and I cover Studio City, Sherman Oaks, Toluca Lake, and Valley Village. So if you see something, you're like, hey, put a request. It would help me stay organized, because I, unfortunately, due to our small office and just being me, I can't come and see the whole Studio City and all the other neighborhoods. So if you see something, send me an email, send me a CSR, and if you can, take a quick picture so I can, go on the meetings and say, well, this is the pictures from the thing, what's going on, and that's a huge help. So thank you guys.
Barry, you have a question?
There's an iron fence on Vineland, next to the 101, next to the Garland Hotel property. I don't know if they paid for it. They may have, but if you want to see this, really, okay. But that's the kind of fence they're talking about.
Yeah. So, and that's I forget. I think it's Toluca, if I'm not mistaken. The Caltrans yard, they even have the iron fence. So this is something that we like the idea of, but that's kind of the answer that Caltrans gave us. We're still going to pester and see what that looks like, and definitely all these comments are going back to the member. So if we have future conversations with Caltrans and the member, he's also fully aware that
there's one other place too, the Hollywood Bowl Park and Ride at Lancashire. The back fence, which is next to Caltrans right away, it's that chain link that's really small and thick. And I think it's harder to cut.
Okay.
And I have not seen that being cut yet. So you might want to and that was put in by Caltrans, right, I believe.
Okay. It's not on Campo de Cuenca.
Yeah.
On the flyover, they just cut it.
Okay.
All right.
Just a quick idea for next. I think the problem with Caltrans is they're always telling you, they don't come back. Tesla's saying you guys do cleanups, but they don't come back. They don't maintain. I don't know what kind of maintenance schedule they have. Doesn't sound like they do. But I think a real simple solution, and not very expensive, is for the state or Caltrans to put up drones and just monitor everything and quickly see what needs to be done. I mean, the LAPD is doing it now with a patrol.
I don't think we
Drone,
want
no.
those flying around.
Sorry,
I don't think we want those
you don't
flying.
want drones flying over freeways, they're looking at on-ramps and off-ramps, right, debris.
All right, yeah.
It's not private home, just an idea.
Okay, thank you, Andrew.
Sorry.
Thank you, guys.
All right, next we have,
Something new.
Sorry about that.
we have, Council Advisor, the Captain Wagner's office, you have a representative. Let's go ahead. Okay. Next is Officer,
Me? Okay. I'm the other county supervisor's office, so. Hi, everyone. My name is Paige Pongelou. I am a field deputy for LA County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath's office. So glad to be here with you guys today. I do cover quite a few neighborhoods, so I haven't been able to attend in person. But I'm glad again to be here, and you can always reach me via email if you have any questions or concerns. Just a few updates from our office. So the County Board of Supervisors approved a motion from Supervisor Horvath in July to support the California Attorney General's legal challenge to the proposed Paramount Warner Brothers merger, which essentially that motion has authorized the county to provide any form of legal support to the Attorney General. And that also includes sharing our economic analysis of the merger with the Attorney General's office and any other states that are challenging this deal. Again, we really value and want to protect and preserve the television and film industry here in LA. And so we are doing everything we can, working with county council on the county side to support these jobs and ensure that they stay and remain in our communities here. Another update, Supervisor Horvath and Supervisor Barger from SD5 introduced a motion reaffirming the county's commitment to a unified regional Los Angeles continuum of care, which helps keep thousands of people housed across our region. This motion has reaffirmed the county's support for the continuum of care in LA and supports any efforts that we continue to take to secure federal funding and ensure coordination with the city of Los Angeles. Both supervisors have emphasized the importance of working with the county, the continued county and city partnership. And so we will continue to work with the city and any other cities impacted by this regional system to ensure they remain supportive and that we secure federal funding. My last update tonight, obviously it's been extremely hot this past week. And so that being said, beginning January 1 of 2027, enforcement will begin on Los Angeles County's indoor heat ordinance, which requires rental units in the unincorporated Los Angeles County to maintain a maximum indoor temperature of no more than 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So property owners can use solutions including insulation, shading, window coverings, fans, and any other cooling measures. We are encouraging landlords to begin preparing now. There are several county resources that we're making available now to them. And then also just wanted to flag that anyone without air conditioning, please utilize cooling centers or libraries. If you visit our website, ready.lacounty.gov/heat, that will take you directly to a webpage where you can locate your nearest cooling centers to just stay and avoid the heat as much as possible. That's all I have, but I'll take questions.
Questions for the public? All right, from the board. All right, thank you.
Well, I am the lucky one here tonight. No, but of course, I do have business cards. If anyone wants to reach out to me via email, more than welcome to. My cell number is also on there as well. So, thank you.
All right, next we have Vincent Terry, the LA Neighborhood Empowerment Advocate.
Thank you. And again, my name is Vincent Autiero with the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. It's a tight schedule, so I'm going to go through just 3 major points, and then I'll email the board the vast majority of my areas to cover. So on August 31st, we will have a homelessness liaison meeting. It'll go from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It'll be virtual. In the email that I sent, all you have to do is just point, click, and RSVP. The next thing that I want to cover is your election is coming up on May the 6th of 2027. As a reminder, we're down to 6 election cycle dates. Also a reminder that every neighborhood council does need to vote on what they want to use as a primary area location for the in-person voting, and then the alternate site. Your election administrator should have already reached out to you, the city clerk, introducing himself or herself to you. And they will be working with you to secure the location that the board votes on. You do need to put a motion together and pass it. They will provide up to $150, and anything additional to $150 will be covered by the neighborhood council. So again, that's due by August the 31st. They do need to have that completion form filled out and submit it. If you have any questions, again, reach out to your election administrator who will be working with the board. The other thing is, we have the first Fridays coming up on September the 11th, which is the next one. And of course, LA28, as a reminder, is the private organization that is working with the city of Los Angeles to put together the Olympics and all the specific details of this coming, well, the next first Friday will be the director for food and beverage, which will be talking a little bit about procurement and how the private sector can also work with LA28 in terms of providing food and beverage. The last thing that I want to go over is in the agenda this evening, item number 12, which is the bylaws. So the bylaws period ended on April the 1st. We extended it to May the 1st. So the bylaw period is now over. So both the city clerk and our department is not reviewing any of the bylaws. If you were to go ahead and pass those motions, just to let you know, the next bylaw period that will be open will be after the elections come July of 2027. So even if you did pass those bylaws, they would not go into effect because you would need a new board that would actually have to look at those particular bylaws and put those motions in play. Any questions?
Don Mendel.
I just want to clarify what you said about the bylaws. Those motions are for changing the operating procedures.
Okay.
Not the bylaws. So just wanted to put that out there. You can go ahead and do it. The operating procedures. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
I was gonna say the same thing as Scott.
All right, Tess.
Vincent, can you ask, whoever's responsible for this period of bylaw changes, why there's any restriction on when any neighborhood council can change its bylaws? It seems arbitrary to me. If a bylaw needs to be changed, it needs to be changed. I'm not blaming you, but it seems, why should there be a time? Why should anything like that be time barred?
So the city clerk basically needs to have all the bylaws that relate to structural changes. They need to be put into play because what they need to do is they need to prepare that for the ballot because the structural changes affect the ballot. And so when they're putting together the ballot for the neighborhood council elections, they need sufficient time to put all those given key areas so that when they release the ballot to the voters, that everything has been put in place. So they have a lot of legwork that they have to do leading up to this neighborhood council election.
Okay, thank you.
And yes, sir.
I got an email from LA28.
LA28, yeah.
About, they were offering a grant, a prize of $5,000 for election initiatives. And I sent it back to you and Gibson asking, was that legit? Is that something that this neighborhood council is eligible for?
So Gibson was gonna get back to you and send you an email on that. You can promote it. I mean, that's one thing to promote it, but in terms of actually whether this neighborhood council was eligible or not, he'll get back to you on that.
Okay, great.
I read the email correctly regarding the elections. If we do not take a vote on where we want our first choice and second choice for the polling place, then they'll just work to secure the last place that we voted at, correct?
Right, and so, I mean, I know some neighborhood councils, what they want to do is they want a specific location that they feel be more, more friendly to the voters, and participating in also the hours that they would like. So you can request more than just 4 hours. So, just as an option.
Does this board have an election administrator?
No.
The election administrator should have been the city clerk. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yes, it should have been either it would be Musa or Mrs. Pullman, I think. So I'll tell you exactly who it is. I can send you an email.
An email, I can
Yeah.
forward it.
No, I was asking if the board has one.
No, we don't have a.
Oh, you guys don't have one internally.
That's what I'm
Got it.
asking. And, but this board needs one?
No, the election administrators from the city clerk. So they're gonna be working with the board. So let's just say that you wanna have your election at, at Tim's Pizza Joint. They'll try to coordinate with Tim's and secure that location and help you with that.
Okay.
And any questions you have, there's a lot of boards that are asking questions about candidate filing, when the deadline is, and then also any stakeholder information for voters.
Yeah. Right, thanks, Vincent.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, next is, North Hollywood Police Department's senior lead officer, their officer, Alex. How you doing today?
Hot, tired, and dirty.
Hot, dirty.
I'm dirty. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for hosting me tonight. So those of you who don't know me, Officer Cesar Gonzalez. I've been in North Hollywood since 2004. Senior lead, last 6 years. I'm assigned to Northeast North Hollywood. Your senior lead officer, Sean Smith, is out on injury. He will not be coming back. He'll be retiring, completing his recovery from his injury. Due to low staffing, I've been asked and tasked to handle both areas. So I went from 5 square miles to 13 square miles. So if I don't get back to you in an email or phone call, please be patient. I'll get back to you. I'm a little busy right now. I just wanted to update you on a broadcast that was put out on the media about a sexual battery person that was down on Ventura and Lower Grove. That person has been apprehended, is in custody, and because we broadcast it on the news, 4 other victims came forward about the same suspect. I can't get into details with it because it's still an ongoing investigation. That person is in custody and awaiting trial. So done with that one. Burglaries, I know that was a topic here tonight as far as burglaries in the area. In North Hollywood, last year to date, we had 518 burglaries. This year we have 299. That encompasses the entire North Hollywood division, which is about 24 square miles. That's a 42% drop. I'm not a mathematician. I didn't graduate with a master's degree in math, but a 42% drop in anything is massive. It's a lot of behind the scenes work by our detectives, a lot of good arrests. Even if they were here in Simi Valley or other parts of the state, bad guys that are going to jail. Because we had that social media and the news that broadcasted that a few months ago, bad guys figured out they don't want to come here anymore because they'll go to jail. So that's a great thing for us is burglaries are down completely. We've had it issued in the Wash area in Studio City. It's about 4 linear miles in the Wash and the LA River. It's a lot of miles to cover. From Vineland to Colfax, there are no encampments as of yesterday, when I checked. It's a lot of work between ourselves, county, and Nathan Roman's office on the south side. On the north side, CD2 is Aaron's office. So everyone's chipping in, helping out with what they can, what we can do. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of area to cover. Signs have been posted, fences have been erected. Yes, they cut the locks all the time. They get replaced. It is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. There's a lot of things that came up earlier. I was taking some notes. So if I miss you or I miss something, please let me know. I'm gonna try to go through all these as best as I can. There was a comment made about the budget and where the money's going with LAPD. We're not cheap. There's no reason why there's only one officer in this room today. Who wants to do the job? I'm not gonna do it for minimum wage, neither will anybody else in this room. Again, it costs money. If you can find another city that the majority of their budget doesn't go to their first responders, let me know. I don't live in this county. The county I live in, most of their money goes to first responders. It's the nature of the beast. Again, because we're not cheap. We are expensive for the same reason. Sorry, I got a little emotional, but it is what it is. Helicopters, they're expensive too. So I mentioned drones. We have drones now. They are launching every day and night to calls. They don't record while they're flying. They only record when they get overseen. They start recording at that moment in time. There's a live feed to an officer who's certified to operate that drone. under FAA guidelines. They do have the certification to fly those drones. They will fly overhead, relay immediately to us on the ground what they see and what they don't see, where the suspects are, where they're not at. They've been used to find missing kids. They've been used to find burglary suspects. You name it, it's been used. It's ongoing, and it's the wave of the future. It's coming. We don't have them here yet in North Hollywood, but we will soon. They're on their way. What's sitting the 101? The encampments are clear from the sidewalk. They were on the freeway side. They're gone from there. There is a pop-up tent on the north side. Officer Curtis Delbar, myself went there today. That's where I got dirty. There was nobody there when we went. The encampment is still there. We did the best we could to patch the fence with what we had. So hopefully they don't come back. If they do, we'll address it. And I know CHP was there earlier this morning as well. So hopefully that will go away. Denise mentioned the block party. I'll be there. You guys want to come chit chat? Have a beverage? I'll be there. We can chit chat offline. That way you guys have any questions, comments, concerns offline. And for everybody else, I'll be there. So you guys can talk to me. I'll be there for that event. Babcock. I've been there. I've seen what's there. As far as law enforcement is concerned, we cannot evict someone off private property unless the owner says, move them off my property. Even if there's a sign that says no trespassing, I don't know who put that sign there. Was it the neighbor? I don't know. We don't have any paperwork showing that they want people evicted off their property. Until that happens, we can't take enforcement action. If DBS deems it a location where it's under 91.89, where no one's allowed to be there, we will enforce it. I will enforce it. I've had no problems doing that on Ventura. CD4 is continually asking for me to enforce it at a location on Ventura Boulevard. It used to be a used Corvette dealership. It's a little white building. That has been deemed by LADBS as a no trespassing. I've written probably 4 tickets, arrested like 3 or 4 people out of there. So we will work with LADBS as once it gets placed under abatement. And it's a team effort. I can't say anything else, but it's a team effort. The property at Colfax and Ventura used to be Jinkies. Now it's a pile of junk. They took it down. Jay, you still here? Thank you. Because of their office, expedited permits to get that thing demolished. It was a nightmare, and I know that because I saw all the emails. Their office pushed and pushed and pushed to get permits to go through. So those of you that live in the city know it takes forever to get permits. It is no joke. We get frustrated as well because we can't do our part because permits are waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. So they actually pushed to get those buildings removed, demolished, and the process going forward. Give credit to where it's supposed to go. So I've seen it. I know what's going on. That property is trespassed. There's trespass signs. The construction company has filed proper paperwork with us to arrest anybody on the premises 24/7. Even if you guys see somebody, you can call them non-emergency and officers show up and arrest them because the proper procedure has been taken care of, unlike Babcock. So until Babcock's owners step forward, LAPD can't do anything, unfortunately. We're stuck as well. I'm just as frustrated as you. I don't want these issues or problems. I got other things to take care of. So, and I understand it's a big problem, it's an issue, it's fires. And there's a high fire red flag warning today because of the heat. So I get it. I completely understand. But there's nothing much we can do until LADBS helps us out. That's all I have. Hopefully answer a lot of questions.
Public. Yes, sir. Sorry. I'm over southeast corner of Moore Park and the freeway overpass.
Okay.
They have now dug in, there's probably 20 people up in the bushes behind where they used to camp out underneath the overpass. Now they're dug in on that southeast corner on the wash. Wide open fence. And by the way, I have a question actually for Anthony. Sorry, sir. It's not your fault. It's for Caltrans. Caltrans can build a freeway, but they don't have an engineer to patch a fence. Will you help me with that? This is an engineer's card? Anyway, I just wanna let you know, I drive by it every day and.
We know they walk from there, they parallel the freeway and they go to Vineland. And then from Vineland, they go down to the Ralph Shopping Center. We know all about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what the authority is. Isn't that Army Corps of Engineers property?
No,
That wash?
no.
Wash right of way is Carter County.
Unincorporated? Oh, okay.
No.
Can we put a roller coaster there?
Before and they tossed them out of there.
Can we put a roller coaster there? Any other public?
I have a question about the property at 4333 Agnes that got broken into twice within 3 nights. They came in at 2:30. And then they broke the window slider in the back. There was 3 to 4 use put in, then they came back 2 nights later. And then they broke it again.
What's the question?
I mean, what's the status? Did they ever catch them or?
Not that I know of. I can follow up with our detectives, but I covered 13 square miles. It's a lot for me, one person to memorize all this stuff. But I can look into it for you too.
Yeah, they said that they thought it was because the owner, they're renting, but the owner was an influencer. And they thought they were in Paris. So it was kind of like a bling ring type thing. So they think that their owners are there, but it's the
I
renter.
can't
Okay.
confirm or deny. I don't know anything.
Way back there.
About the Jenkins area, there was a fire there, I think 2 weeks ago. Did you guys arrest, I don't know what that was.
No, it was down in the bottom of the wash.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the residents are down there. There's no encampment there, so it might have been someone lighting something and it's a lot of dry brush there, a lot of dead leaves.
Okay.
So it might have just caught off fire.
Got
Right hand, right behind you.
Oh, that's so awkward. Hold on a second. That's okay.
Nope, to the left, sorry.
You mentioned permits being a problem. Would it be fair to show off the delay, the unfortunate delay for this house on Beaman that caught fire? Well, the woman was.
Babcock.
Okay. Is that because of permits?
No.
Is that the common denominator?
No, not that location because it's a vacant lot. There's no building to knock down. It's just an empty lot. It's fenced in, but it's just empty. So there's no permitting for that particular property.
Shed some light on what the specific, if it's not permitting the take, which I know is a problem with the city in general. Center, right? Which maybe we can talk about that some other time about why it takes so long. But what was the delay with this? Like, are you able to shed light on the logistics of it for all of us?
Oh, Babcock?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so you have your house. Okay, I'm sorry, this is kind of awkward. Can I just have a here? That's kind of awkward. I like this, Brent. Okay, so your house. Neighbor calls and says someone's in your front yard. We show up and we arrest that person. Because the neighbor called. This guy says, no, I have permission from the owner. I have permission from the owner. I can stay here. How do I prove it? Phone. You're not home. They don't have your phone number. So how do I prove they have permission to be there? I don't. So that's not just what we think. This is what law says. That's what the law says. So in order for that to happen, for the arrest to be made, that's a misdemeanor crime. And so we would need someone to write with their name on paper with a signature saying, yes, I am pressing charges on that person. He's gonna go to jail because you want him arrested. So I need something in writing saying you're pressing charges on your husband for a misdemeanor crime.
Down for the owner, and is that the issue with a lot of these derelict buildings?
Some of them, yes, some of them, no. There's another one that's on Moore Park and Carpenter. It's got a huge fence on it. Talk to that property owner. He's actually let the fire department go practice fire drills on his property. He's like, you need to practice, not a problem here. Burn this down. It's red tagged. So he's taking his sweet time getting everything done. I don't have any issues there. There was one person there. He's gone. Honeymoon is gone, done, taken care of. So it's up to them. It's fenced off like he's supposed to. Can't go in there, it's red tag, change it up, no issues. So everyone is unique and different in its own way, but in order to enforce the misdemeanor law of trespass, I need someone to say, this is my property, I'm an agent of the property, I'm placing them under arrest. We need somebody there. Now, if that doesn't happen, doesn't exist, there's nothing we can do as law enforcement to make that arrest. Our hands are literally tied.
Because it's private property.
Correct. I just can't go in there and grab someone and take them out of there just because the neighbor said so. How do I know they're not in a fight with each other?
even if they start at 5.
Who's they?
Mhm.
Proof who it was. Yeah, so so you hear the tone in my voice as well. I get very emotional. I take my job very personal. So it gets frustrating for me that I can't help you. I wish I could. See my good bumps? I do, indeed. So it's frustrating for us as well that we can't do our job because we have to follow the law. That's what the law says. And it's very frustrating. And I get it. I was back to listen to everyone's comments, trying to take all the notes I possibly could. You all have valid points. I get it, 100%. There's only so much we can do. There's only so much building safety can do. I started my speech saying I'm one guy for 13 square miles. Is that fair to you guys? No. Building and safety has one inspector for the entire valley. Is it fair to him? No. We work hand in hand with him, Glenn. Glenn's fantastic. He's a great guy. We work with him all the time. We did the Varner location up there. Yes, there was abatement. Okay, we took care of it. What is abatement property? Yeah, we work hand in hand. There's 2 or 3 properties on Fredonia. Same thing. Vanetta Place, someone talked about Vanetta. That's in the works. Trying to get that done. We're helping them. We're working with each other. Unfortunately, because remember, the city of Los Angeles is huge. It's massive. Try to get anything done. Try managing the city of LA. Good luck. Good luck.
Quick question back there.
That was great news about the neighbors being down and the arrest, and thank you for that information. And the police work is, do you know if there's information on the neighborhood WhatsApp, people talk about hiring private patrol and R. You know that, do you find that to be helpful?
Watch this, please.
Yeah, we're Toluca Lake, we have 24/7 armed patrol dedicated to our community. We're down 92% in burglaries.
The post.
We're 1.22 square miles.
Iron Bill. I'd like to partner with community.
Take some of my bill away, please.
Yes, fine, but yes, the reason why I partner her because that's, you know, so does it work? Yeah.
Absolutely.
One way to find out. I know, I tried a new dish the other day. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not. How would I find out? I tried it. I liked it. So maybe give it a shot.
Can I just say, one of the biggest impacts of it is the response time. I mean, it's a minute, 2 minutes, you know, and that's the biggest.
Yeah.
One of the biggest.
Yes, and I heard a comment that yeah, it takes officers 8 hours to get to your calls.
We have very quick response time with post. It does only take a minute or 2, but they are unarmed. And they.
So our response time is based on time of day, how many units we have available and what they're working on. If we have a perimeter going on, like we did yesterday, we had 6 units on that perimeter. And you make a 911 call. Van Nuys has to come in and help out, or Foothill Division has to come and help us out, because we're all stuck on this perimeter looking for this guy jumping fences. Okay, if we caught that guy, he's in jail, but it depends on the time of day, what we're working on, what we're not working on. It could be 2 units are stuck in court. We make arrests, we have to go to court and testify to what we did on that case. So it varies. Now, if you call about a party, middle of the night, and we have shootings going on, they're gonna go to the shootings first, it's priority call. Yeah.
Any board questions?
Yes.
Daniel?
So, referring to the Babcock, I actually talked to the CBS.
Yes.
And we both heard I talked to you guys. I live across the street from the actual lot. Now, BBS told me they're actually building a case, prosecution case, and Friday doesn't look like they're doing anything, but the back end they are. How long does it take when they turn that over to you guys to say to act on it?
That's a question for LADBS along with the LA City Attorney's Office. Yeah, they do all that. We don't have anything to do with that process. Yeah.
Yeah, when do you envision that you will have a cohort to share the 13 square miles with again, and whose inbox is gonna be pinged to advocate for that to happen quickly?
I don't know.
Either one.
Either one.
Ah.
So you're stuck with me for a little bit.
Well, you are, it's true, when you said it out loud a few minutes ago. It's not fair to us either, so not fair to you, not fair to us. I'd be happy to rattle some cages if you would tell us whose cage to rattle.
I wouldn't know. I've rattled cages myself and it falls on deaf ears. So if you have an idea of who you can rattle, by all means, help me to help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What makes it so hard to recruit police officers?
It's not the recruitment. There are thousands of applications that come there every month. Thousands.
And why hasn't, in your opinion, why hasn't the enrollment increased?
Budget.
Budget is the only reason. So there's people ready to be hired, but it's budget only?
As far as I can tell, I don't work recruitment, so I don't know the specifics of that. That's not my forte. I'm here, I'm your community officer. So there's questions about the community, I'm your guy. When it comes to recruitment, as far as what I know, that's what it comes down to.
Okay, cause it's hard to know, like, my understanding is they're finding it hard to find police. But if you're saying they're finding them, but they can't hire them, then I'd
As far
like
as,
to learn more.
as far as I know, that's what I know, and I don't know anything else.
Okay, alright. Andrew, last question?
This is a combo for LAPD and Rahman's office. There's a new camp on the Hunger Bridge, and we've been corresponding with Jay and his team. I don't know if you're in the loop on that. It's been about a week. The concern is, I think it's the same people. They were there maybe 3 months, 5 months ago. One guy, then 3, then 6, and it's very active drug dealing. I'm just curious what's the time frame to get rid of them on?
Let me ask you this. Have you called a non-emergency number for LAP to respond?
Stakeholders have filed the 311 reports.
Have you called
We shared them with the council office.
have you called a non-emergency number?
I have personally not. Stakeholders
You'd be
have.
surprised at how many times I get the same question. And they're waiting for me to go. I don't mind doing it. I'll go. I'll talk to them there. Who's there? I'll reach out to city council and say, hey, they want housing. They don't want housing. But usually in some of those encampments, we find some type of violation,
Right.
something, anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
You can see it.
right. So we enforce what we can.
The other issue is, as I drove to this meeting here tonight, I drove right by it. And I saw a woman walking from Ventura right past. She had to walk into the street. Yeah. To go around.
So again, that's a violation that we can enforce. But if officers are not called to go there and I'm on my last day working, say tonight's my last day, I don't come back for 3 more days.
Yeah.
You're gonna wait those 3 days till I get back and add it to my list to get out there and do something to help out, whatever it is I can do.
Yeah.
Versus if you call the non-emergency number, those patrol officers work 24/7.
I personally called those numbers and
I know,
I waited the 90 minutes.
I
2
know.
hours just
And
to
that's
see it.
when I started.
That's another.
Yes, I
And
completely
they're
understand.
clever enough to be on the CD4 side of the bridge and not the CD2 side. They know exactly where the center of the bridge is, you can be sure.
Yes.
Same on Vineland.
Austin Gonzalez, thank you for showing up and answering all our questions.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, any other government representatives? Okay. Move to selective officer reports. First president report, I'd like to get approval of the July board meeting minutes. Second, right, we'll just do it by show of hands. Minutes. All right, minutes approved. That's all I have. Next is the vice president's report, Jeff Hartwick.
Nothing from me, thank you.
All right. Corresponding secretary's report. Beefy.
Yes, just as a reminder for people submitting RFAs, just do pay some attention to the language that you're using because I will use parts of that language in my correspondence. So in your lead, if you can kind of cut to the chase, so to say, or present the essential points, that only helps me, but I think also helps you in terms of how we communicate with various government agents. Thank you.
Okay, all right, secretary's report, Jay,
Nothing for me.
and treasurer's report, Kim.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of combine treasurers and budget since there's nothing under budget. And just quickly give the lowdown that, in fact, Vincent, maybe you know, we do not yet have our rollover funds. Do you happen to know when we will?
No, we spoke to the city, look, last week, they're getting ready to issue those funds out in the next couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks.
So we're currently still working with 25,000, and as I said before, we should have, hopefully it's 12 to 13 coming back. So that'll be a total of 37, 38. Okay. So with that, I'll just roll into the motions. The board motion, treasurer's motion A, the board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council approves the revised budget for fiscal year 26-27. You need a second, and then I'll be happy to explain quickly. Thank you, Dean. Just, I brought this back, to throw some more money, lessen the money that was in outreach for, specifically for Tonga Village, since we voted last time on that. And I was also told that it was not a miscellaneous in the office, $50 miscellaneous in the office, just to balance the budget, and was told it had to specifically say something. So, this is why I'm bringing this back by. So not a whole lot was done, but, and as I've said before, it's gonna be revised and redone along the way. So, appreciate your support on this revision. Any public comment?
Send money. Board comment? All right, let's vote. Mercy,
Yes.
Isara,
Yes.
Victoria,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Andrew.
Yes.
Jay Frodes, yes. Daniel,
Yes.
Lucine is away. Dimitri,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Jerry. Yes. Richard,
Outside.
indisposed. Lori,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Should I go on to the next one?
yep,
Yes.
passes.
Motion B, the board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council approves the monthly expenditure reports MERS for June 2026, fiscal year 25-26, and July 2026, fiscal year 26-27. Need a second, please.
Second.
Whoever, Dean, Jerry.
Dean,
Sorry, that's not a typo, the fiscal year 25-26, fiscal year 20, oh, I see. Okay, that's when the fiscal year starts.
Correct.
Yeah.
Ends, that
It
is-
ends, it's, yeah, sorry.
public comment? Board?
Hey guys, I'm Chip Ian.
Chip.
It's good to see you from this side of the table. I've been talking, this is one of those things that when I was on the board and president, I chose my battles. And this wasn't worth doing, but now I've got a lot fewer things on my table. So I wanted to go back and review my conscience. And one of the things I want to talk about is the reimbursement to the stakeholder Barry for going to Costco for the movie and the park stuff. I mean, I applaud the initiative. We clearly don't have as many people to do as much work as Barry, and I get it that we save money by sending Barry all the way to Van Nuys to Costco to use his credit card to then have Kim and me and Scott before me kind of change the rules so a non-board member gets reimbursed. The city clerk gets involved, Kim has to do it, Barry has to do it. It's a 90-day rollover. There are 2 credit cards that happen like this. At the same time that we're spending a lot of money to save just a little bit of money on salty snacks and sugary soft drinks, we are at the same time working really hard to take the money from this community away from the merchants in the community and save $50 down the street. And I wouldn't want to talk to any of those people that have a business here and say, I'd rather work really hard to not give you your money. So I just think it's something we did with the best of intentions, probably 5 to 7 years ago. I think we should drop the $60 in the community and go to Costco, go to Bevmo, Ralph's, pick it. But we should spend the Studio City money with Studio City residents. Thanks. And now my conscience is clear.
It was Costco in North Hollywood. The business. And it's stuff that you can't buy at Ralph's. And I would like to remind you that Bevmo and Ralph's are as corporate as Costco. And, buying it in Studio City, I don't think it makes any more difference than buying it in North Hollywood. If you were buying it at a if we still had a mom and pop grocery store that sold the stuff that I am buying, which is you can't buy at Ralph's, then maybe it might make sense. But the stuff that I buy for like movies in the park, you cannot buy at Ralph's. You just can't, other than canned drinks. But the other stuff, the way it's packaged, you cannot buy it.
Yeah. All right, public comment.
Hi, Scott Mandel here. That's great that Barry was doing all this, but as you know, he can't anymore. There's no more reimbursements to non-board members. So whoever the card holder is, if you want to go to a closer store and not schlep to North Hollywood or whatever for Costco to get specialty snacks, just get different snacks. Make it easier on yourself. Don't kill yourself. It's great that Barry did it, but Barry can't do it anymore. This is the last reimbursement to a non-board member.
Well, the card holder can go with me.
Great. Who's gonna do it?
Well,
I have a question. I have a question on the BAC for the June monthly expenditure report. The portal says the BAC was not uploaded. It's been a few years for me, but the way I understand it is, the clerk doesn't pay anything until there's a BAC. If that's changed, that's changed. The BACs are what authorize the payments. So I don't know if Barry has been reimbursed. My point is, that's one of the movie in the park invoices that may have had a chance to be directed to our partners in Toluca Lake who agreed to pay. So if it hasn't been paid because the BAC, according to the portal today, has not been uploaded, and according to the clerk, at least the paperwork I have, they don't pay unless there's a BAC, maybe it can be redirected.
Thanks, Scott. Any other public comment on this motion? Board comment? Richard Thames up first.
Yeah, for quite a while, when I was a card holder, I would go to Barry, to various stores, and yeah, we had the problem with the Costco in North Hollywood, you know, and I just paid and got reimbursed, but he can't. You know, you can be a card holder and a member. So it's like, you know, I think it's a problem, but I think at the same time, Barry can determine what the best place is to buy the items and at what price. I think that's, you know, if he's willing to do the work, let him do it, you know, even if it is further away.
Kim?
So, and this is a good way to teach people, there had been a question exactly like Scott was talking about here. The BAC, the Board Action Certification, is created every time we take a vote on any expenditure. So every meeting we leave here with these that I create, and it simply is a record of the motion and how we voted. And then that goes and gets uploaded into the portal with the receipt of the purchase when the purchase is made. We have to vote first to make the purchase, and then purchase is made, that is when the BAC goes. I think what Scott is referring to is that the BAC has not been uploaded for the monthly expenditure report itself. So that we also need, that has to go in the portal for these monthly expenditure reports to get cleared in the portal system. And if they get too far behind, we get stalled financially, and it's all real pain in the rear end. And my only thought on why there's a BAC for the monthly expenditure report is simply to put it back out there in front of everybody. And it shows what we've spent, what we have pending, in the receipts, and a way, to get transparency of the actual receipts out to all of you and to the public is what that's about. So there's BACs all over the place, but, and Barry's been paid, everything's been paid.
We're way over time on this section.
Yes. Andrew?
So there's about $200 to $2,400 worth of expenses on movies in the park under the 3,000 that we budgeted. Are you saying those have all been paid? Those vendors have all been paid?
Everything has been paid, and we saved a lot of money thanks to Barry's work. We did not pay a number of expenses. The rights to the film,
I got from
finagle
Joy
through
Courts
something,
Well,
yes.
at University.
I'd have to differ on, what the money was spent for. Barry spent all that money on, whatever it was, drinks. I was there, I saw who, it mostly went to kids. So our engagement with stakeholders was nil. But my point is, I've been asking about this for 6 months. How Toluca Lake, who promised to share the expenses, we haven't been refunded our 50% of the cost of movies in the park, and I'm curious how that's gonna happen. Why those vendors, why those bills weren't just sent straight to Toluca Lake? And we would have
Because
saved
they-
the
they couldn't
$1,500, right?
They couldn't be.
Yes, they could.
No, they could not.
Why
No,
couldn't they?
because they would have had to have
They've been
voted.
asking for an invoice for 6 months. Their outreach
can't-
committee,
we can't-
excuse me, let me finish. The outreach committee at Toluca Lake has had an agenda item for 6 months saying, where are the invoices? And actually, Tess, I don't know if you're still here, could confirm that.
We
Hold up,
cannot-
Kim. You spoke, my turn to speak. That issue is being handled between our, neighborhood council and Toluca Lake. Kim is engaged with Tess to figure out how we do this and pass the city clerk's, rules of engagement on how you handle it. Kim understand how you do that. It's not as simple as how you try to explain it, right? So it will be done, and we'll address that at the executive board meeting. Okay? We'll explain how it's gonna be done.
So I've been asking about this. I never heard that until now.
Okay, well,
That it's
this is
been
reason.
postponed to a,
I addressed this board on the matter prior, but
Right.
apparently people did not hear it, but in an open meeting, so. And I'll discuss with you on the side if you'd like, Andy.
Right.
Happy to do so.
All right, any other board comment? All right, I recommend you vote.
Mercy,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Victoria,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes,
Dean,
yes.
Andrew,
No.
Jay votes yes. Daniel.
Yes.
Lucine is away. Dimitri,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Richard,
Yeah.
Lori,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
motion passes.
okay, so the next one is coming before you for about a third time, I think. So we have discussed this, it should look familiar. I just want to preface that regarding reimbursements, again, I want to try to, impart information to people because I get the same questions over and over and don't remember, don't understand, be board members. First of all, board members are the only ones who can be reimbursed, not committee members, okay? That we were told we could not do. I know Barry's been in the past, can't do that anymore. So anyways, only board members can be reimbursed and 3 times in a fiscal year. So remember that also. In order to be reimbursed, there has to have been a motion for the purchase in the first place. So you can't willy-nilly go buy something and then come back and say, hey, cover it. It needs to have been voted on first. In order to get the reimbursement done, I need the BAC, the vote and the BAC for that original purchase. And then a vote and a BAC for the reimbursement. So it's a 2-parter on this. This came before you last fiscal year. This was printing done for the blood drive last fiscal year. It was believed that there was a motion already in place and approval for expenditures on the printing. There was none. So this motion had come to you before there was actually an approval to do any printing. And so had to come back to you for that one. Now that we're also in a new fiscal year, it's coming back around. I'm not even sure from this receipt if this is going to apply, but we're going to try. So that's where we are. Yeah, I'm sorry. Motion C, the Board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council approves reimbursement to board member Andrew Epstein in the amount of 50 for professional graphic services by Michelle Vincente, necessary for file preparation, high resolution and adjustments for printing of the SCNC blood drive flyer fiscal year 25-26.
Second. Public comment. Board comment. I move we vote. Thank you.
Mercy,
Yes.
Sarah, Victoria,
Yes.
Tim,
No.
Dean.
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jay votes yes. Daniel,
Yes.
Lucine is away, sorry. Dimitri.
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Gary.
Yes.
Richard.
Richard. No.
Lori,
Yes.
Matt.
Yes. Motion passes. All right, the next motion is Ken.
Okay. And the next one, again, simply coming to you, because this was prior fiscal year and we need to have approval to pay something in the prior fiscal year out of this fiscal year's funds. So, motion D, the board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council approves payment of the June 2026 Web Corner invoice fiscal year 25-26 in the amount of $454.20.
All right, public comment. Yes.
Like to say, I'm a CPA and I have to on him for doing the job. I would not want to deal with the city.
All right, board comment. All right, good. Oh,
So, I know some board members, have an email I sent suggesting a RFA regarding Web Corner. There was a lively discussion last month about this and the expense, and I was surprised not to see anything on this month's agenda that anyone came up with any solution or some type of a plan. The plan, in my view, should be a request for action to our two council members to get a report back from the appropriate departments about the city's IT department encompassing the neighborhood council system under LACity.org rather than 99 neighborhood councils, not counting the ones that steal the services from Google by doing it for free, which we're not allowed to do, but they do. At $5,000 a neighborhood council, that's $500,000 a year in each neighborhood council trying to manage their own web services. When it would make more sense, at least until we get a report back, that the city handled it, that it would be neighborhood council .LACity.org, like every other city organization. So it was a hot topic last month and it seems to have died. I think some committee should take this up and do a request for action to get our two council members to put forth a council file to find out if this is feasible and what the cost would be. Because that's a lot of the budget. So hopefully someone will do it.
thank you.
I went through this a couple of years ago, by the way. I couldn't get any, I would have to have done it all by myself. I couldn't get any support from the board. So maybe someone will have a better chance this time.
All right, board comment. Andrew.
So I've been on this board a year. I've been asking about this for a year. And I was hoping that the budget committee, someone on the budget committee would investigate and make this happen. We're really wasting $5,000 a year.
Oh, I want to say something about this. Sorry, you're right.
With a little research, I found that other neighborhood councils are paying far less. I also had communications with Dean and I and another web company who looked at the web corner budget and came up with something far superior, a huge money saver. So I'm asking the budget committee to look into this. We have a trimmed down budget, you know, and who's to say what's going to happen next year? So I don't know why it has not moved forward.
Okay.
I just joined the board about 3 months ago. I guess my feeling about that, Andrew, is that we're all stretched here. We're all volunteers. If that's something that you want to take on and bring forth,
and implement and train people, by all means do it. But I think asking the budget.
Really?
No, let him finish, Andrew.
Really?
No, I don't mean it.
Andrew, you respect you talking, you respect you Okay, talking? sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work to do that. And so when you take a look at resources, like, I get it, I'm as thrifty as the next person, like, no question. And when I heard that it cost us $5,000 to do what it is that we do, I would love for it to be half that much, but also, like, look how much time we're spending talking about it. Okay, Dean?
Well, Scott's point a month ago, it didn't go on deaf ears. We were working on it, and Andrew and I were probably part of that heated discussion, so we did do some research. And we did uncover some interesting data, not all prepared to be able to be agenda. On the very face, from reputable and people that I know, that's $500 a month to reduce to $350 a year. So there were comments about what are we gonna save? What's the big deal about $1,000? It's in process. So,
okay,
I think we just have to be patient.
All right.
I just want to make sure everybody saw the breakdown that I made, the yearly breakdown of the web corner costs, which consist of website and MailChimp and also our Gmail accounts. It has been talked about, and even I questioned it coming in here 5 years ago. I questioned this too. And so it's been talked about and looked at many times. And happy to hear if other people have uncovered some info, right, but it has been looked at and talked about and researched, and including recently had it with person who was the secretary prior to you. Anyways, so what? Thank you. And so it has been discussed plenty, but I'm happy to take it.
Yeah. Can you go to the motion? It's in, process. We don't have any. And actually, you got something from the city attorney today too.
I can't hear you.
Did you got something from?
No, from city clerk.
City clerk.
I'm sorry, from Gibson had been done on the steps it takes.
Okay, there's a process to it.
There it is, I have it.
Okay.
Laid out.
Right, I move we go. Mercy.
Yes.
Is Sarah.
Yes.
Victoria.
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Andrew.
I abstain.
Dave votes yes. Daniel.
Yes.
Lucine is away. Dimitri. No. All right. Second. Jeff.
Yes.
Jerry.
Yes.
Richard.
Yeah.
Lori.
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
The motion passes.
All right, budget committee.
I'm good, thanks. That was, I've included it. Thank you.
All right, Riverwalk Development Ad Hoc, Scott Mandel.
Don't worry, folks, I'll be brief. Scott Mandel, I'm the chair of the, I'll do it less. I'm chair of the Riverwalk Development Ad Hoc Committee. We had our first meeting last July 27th. It was well attended via Zoom and in public. We went through 2 pages of points and issues based on prior land use committee and board meetings and public comment. And we had the developer there, and the input and feedback from the public and the committee was great. We actually got one thing accomplished already, which was the skinning of the fire hazard palm trees on the property of the development. I'm sorry, the palms, no, they're not palm trees. They're gonna come down, but we are able to convince the developer between now and when they're coming down to get rid of the dead fronds, because they pose a fire hazard, and the people up in Sunswept we're very concerned about fire danger. We're gonna be meeting again in September. The delay between last month and this month was, I was waiting for CD4 to assign a permanent deputy. We have one now. I spoke to him before the meeting, and he will be updated on all the progress we've made so far. And we'll have another meeting in September. And that's it. Anyone want any information? It's on the committee website. There's resources, there's links, there's a Google public drive of dozens, maybe 100 different documents relating to Riverwalk development. It's all there. There's no secrets. And if anyone has any trouble finding a document or anything, just email me and I'll get it to you. Thanks.
One public comment, board comment.
Do you have an idea of a date of next big step in terms of Riverwalk, next approval process as a developer?
No. There are a lot of balls in play that we need some feedback from CD4, which will be the point person to deal with all the city agencies and likely county and possibly state and federal, all involved in this. So there's a lot of moving parts. We laid out the groundwork and the next steps now have to involve CD4.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Next up is the Riverwalk, the disaster preparedness and evacuation committee, or ad hoc. And that should be here.
So, mine is the alternative to Scott's. There's nothing on the website. And we have had one informal meeting with all of the enthusiasm we noted in the meeting. Particularly from the Sunswept folks about evacuation and emergency preparedness. There is one person from the public who has come forward. Which leads me to believe that much of the concern about fire, hazard, disaster mitigation, evacuation, all of that was just sort of a generic, I don't want Riverwalk to happen. That said, we do have some very real issues with regard to evacuation for the hillside residents. I've gotten in touch with a number of fire department folks. I have their notes. Their notes are open-ended enough because the reality is there is no plan that can be put in place that will not be amended the moment a fire happens, because everything will change based on where the fire is coming from. So they don't want to actually commit. So what we're going to do, and I've spoken to Andy about this, I'm going to draft best practices. We're going to put it into buckets of be prepared, stay informed and communicate, and leave before it gets too late. One of the things I'm doing with CD4 is finding a way to have them identify an early hub. So we want people to evacuate. We want them to evacuate even before they get a warning. So they get out of the way. So they're not stopping their neighbors and they're not stopping the fire equipment. But they don't want to go get a hotel in Bakersfield if they don't think they're going to need it. So I'm trying to get them to approve a pop-up hub on LA Valley College where there would be security, because if you're evacuating, everything important to you is in the vehicle. There should be power to charge your phones. There should be someone to give information. There should be bathrooms. There should be cooling or heating. There should be refreshments. They need to get something done and we're working on that. So more to come. I should have it wrapped up by September. Because the thing we don't want to hear is shelter in place. Like you don't want to shelter in place for a fire. So that's what we got.
Any
If you want to fill your,
public questions? All right, board questions.
want to fill your committee page, I just posted, LA Fire just put out a new, emergency preparedness guide.
Right.
Longs there, you can have it.
I think we should definitely take a look at that and see if we can get some more folks in there, because there should be more people than me and Steve.
Any other board comment? All right, thanks. All right, Step Hardwick.
Good evening. We had our bylaws and procedures committee meeting the other day, so we have 4 motions to bring. I'll go through these very quickly. Motion A, the board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council, SCNC, approves amending operating procedures, Article 1, Governing Board, Section 3, vacancies, paragraph C3. And it will go like this. 3, a board member shall nominate qualified applicants and require a second to fill the vacancy at the following regular board meeting. A minimum of 2 nominees for each vacant seat must be present for a vote to occur. Board members and stakeholders shall have the opportunity at the meeting to ask nominees questions as part of the evaluation process. So this would be applicable to vacancies on the board when someone leaves the board midstream. And the rationale for this particular motion is, since the particular vacancy nominee didn't go through the election process and the question and answer periods that are normally held before elections, that there should be a somewhat higher standard to have at least 2 qualified nominees to vote for or against, rather than just a single one. And I will turn it over to public and board comment. Thanks.
All right, public comment? Board comment?
Yeah, I have a comment. My concern with this, and I raised it at the bylaws and procedures, operating procedures committee, is, I mean, I didn't state it exactly this way, but, you know, looking back, there was a time when we were struggling to have a quorum, not so long ago, about 3 years ago. And, you know, and so I just don't want to preclude one good candidate, you know, from getting on the board if we need to fill that seat. So that's my concern.
Any other board comment? Daniel?
I kind of echo that. I mean, my sentiment is that not everybody in the board knows all the stakeholders in the community. So if a good stakeholder comes up and to the meetings and they feel like they can fill a seat, how is it they're gonna get two people to nominate them or vote for them? If, you know, you never met them before, if you just come out of the blue and be like, they have good qualifications. I get it, one person has met them, you know, and done the due diligence, but I mean, like tonight, we had people show up that never been here before, you know? And so my thing is, you never know who could be that good person sitting in. If they require 2 people to nominate them, you may end up in a problem, like she said, where we don't have enough people on the board.
Okay. Any other board comment? All right, I move that we vote. Thank you, Jay.
Percy?
Yes.
Isara?
Yes.
Victoria?
No.
Kim?
She just walked out.
Oh, sorry. Dean?
No.
Andrew?
Yes.
Jay votes yes. Daniel?
No.
Hussein's away. Dimitri?
No.
Jeff?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Richard?
Yeah.
Lori?
No.
Matt?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Okay. Next motion, Jeff.
Thank you. Motion B, I'll quickly read it. The Board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council, SCNC, approves amending operating procedures, Article 1, Governing Board, Section 7, Youth Seat, Paragraph A, as follows. A, the board may create a youth seat to serve on the board in a non-binding voting capacity. The youth seat member shall be appointed in accordance with the provisions of Article 3, Section 1, Paragraph O. And what this motion does is it cleans up the language, the previous language. The previous language kind of had the first sentence. We've added that the youth member can vote in a non-binding voting capacity. So the person can actually vote yay or nay on different motions. And added the language that the youth seat member shall be appointed in accordance with the provisions of paragraph O. That wasn't there before, and we clarify what those provisions are in paragraph O. So this is kind of cleaning up our operating procedures a little bit. Thanks.
Public comment?
I'll be short. I just want to say this makes a lot of sense, and it's also very important, at least I used to do it. When I was president, the board, the youth, member doesn't vote, and they would just sit there like a bump on a log. So I initiated them voting for everything and being more proactive, but their votes didn't count, but they got to speak and give their opinion, as far as the matters before the board. Now we can actually do it, or you can actually do it by having a non-binding vote, and it doesn't violate anything. So I think it's a great move.
Board comment?
What does that mean, non-binding voting?
It means it doesn't count whether that's passing.
So you don't count it.
Right. Any other board comment?
Yes, I'm glad that we're passing this. I'm very happy to have, a youth seat on our board. And I think it will help a lot in keeping her engaged.
Right? Richard?
You know, city attorney's office had previously prohibited the youth members from having a vote dealing with money matters on the premise that they could not effectively prosecute somebody who is a minor. I'm not saying if that's good or it's bad, I'm just saying that's what they said last time when we were having youth members a number of years ago. They didn't want them to vote on money matters, but they could vote on everything else.
But if it's non.
I'm just saying that.
If I may, they can't vote on money matters anyway because they haven't taken the training, so.
Okay, any other board? Right, the move that we vote?
Mercy,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Victoria,
Yes.
Tim is not here. Dean,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jay votes yes. Daniel,
Yes.
Seems not here. Dimitri,
Yes.
Jeff. Jeff,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes,
Lori,
Yes.
Matt.
Yeah.
Motion passes.
All right, Jeff, next motion.
All right, 1 second.
And you voted yes for the last one, by the way.
Timer.
Correct.
You need help with that, Jeff?
No, I'm sorry. There's like I'm at a different location. There was a light with a timer on it. It just blacked me out right now. So, anyway, hold on. This might work. All right, here we go. I'm back in action here. All right, this is motion C. The board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council, SCNC, approves amending operating procedures, Article 3, committees and their duties. Section 1, standing committees, paragraph O. The youth committee shall be comprised of high school age students, generally between 15 to 18 years of age. If the youth committee brings a motion to the board, it will come from an adult board member and require a second. The youth committee shall elect a representative to sit on the board as a non-binding voting liaison at the first committee organizational meeting. The representative shall then rotate among the committee members. The committee shall determine the length of rotations. So we just clarified the appointment language for the youth member. We also stated that they shall be elected in a non-binding voting capacity, as I mentioned before, and that there should be a rotation. We thought it would be unfair to have a youth committee, say, of 10 members, and only one of their members got to sit during a board meeting and vote in a non-binding capacity on board issues. So this would be a little bit spreading the wealth, so to speak, among the members, so they each get a chance, or most of them get a chance to participate. So that was the thought on that. Thanks.
Public comment? Comment, no.
Thank you. It gives the youth committee, especially now that we have an engaged one, a bit more control over how they engage with the board. where they get to set the rules of who they elect to be on the board and their rotation. And I don't think, the city attorney has to worry about prosecuting youths for their vote on a financial matter that was, properly placed before the board, where adults are voting on it too. So I don't think you need to worry about the, youths on our committee, getting in trouble with the law by voting. And by the way, they can be 18 and still be on the youth committee. Anyway, there's that.
Right, what comment? Right, I move we vote.
Mercy,
Yes.
Kisara,
Oh, yes.
Victoria,
You need to be in the room
Kim,
where you're voting, so time out here. If you're gonna vote, you need to be in the room.
If that's not, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
okay,
That's like-
taking her off.
Yes.
Thank you. Kim,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jay votes yes. Daniel,
Yes.
Dimitri,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, Jeff, next motion.
All right, the last motion D, the Board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council, SCNC approves amending operating procedures, Article 3, committees and their duties, Section 1, standing committees, paragraph K6. 6, all conflict of interest rules that apply to board members shall also apply to all committee chairs and members. So all we're doing is, as you all know, as the board members know, we are subject to conflict of interest rules that the city promulgates. There are also common law rules that are promulgated that we have to follow and ethical obligations. So we're just saying if board members have to follow this, then committee chairs and members should also follow this. So there aren't direct conflicts of interest that could affect motions and requests for action that will eventually wind up before the board. So that was the thought there. Thank you.
All right, public comment? Board comment? None? Move, do we vote?
Mercy,
Yes.
Kisara, Victoria,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jay votes yes. Daniel,
Yes.
Dimitri,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Next up is the youth committee. Though most of you know that we set up and established a youth committee for the Studio City Neighborhood Council. The youth committee met 3 times so far. We have 9 students from across schools within the surrounding Studio City area. The committee have a ton of new ideas that they're gonna eventually present to the board. And you'll see that in some of their minutes coming out, especially the next meeting. But for this meeting here, we have 1 motion from the youth committee. The Studio City Neighborhood Council Youth Committee approves rotating youth board members for 3-month terms, beginning with seniors. The order of participation will start with Jesse Kai, who will seek the first 3 months, followed by Drew Latika for the next 3 months, Daisy Figueres for the following 3 months, and Sophie Shai for the subsequent 3 months. The first youth board member will be seated during the August 2026 Neighborhood Council Board meeting. And this is in line with what we just changed in our operating procedures. And Jessie is here today. She's one of our most active youth board members, and I'll welcome her to the board after we have a vote. But public comment. All right, board comment?
I just say welcome. Thanks for your participation. And I think it's wonderful, the rotation. I think it was when I read that, I thought that was lovely.
Yeah. Yeah,
That was with timekeeping, so.
Excellent.
right,
Sorry it's taking so long.
all right, to get to you. You're learning how the government works. All right, I move that we vote.
Second, Percy,
Yes.
Isara. Sorry. Victoria,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jay votes yes. Daniel,
Yes.
Lucine is not here. Dimitri.
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Right. Well, listen, she gets sworn in or she?
Well, she's not a board member. I mean, we could do it ceremoniously.
Let's do that.
Yeah, well, let me, gotta backtrack the,
Sorry to put you on the spot.
you know. no worries.
We do it after 14.
Just like to make it official that she's our first board member.
I got it.
That'll be the smart for her.
Stand up.
So if you could, stand up. And then just repeat after me. If you can raise your right hand. And repeat after me. I pledge to represent my neighborhood with dignity, integrity, and pride.
I pledge to represent my neighborhood with integrity, dignity, and pride.
I will encourage other points of view even when they differ from my own.
I would encourage other points of view even when they differ from my own.
I will respect, value, and consider everyone's opinion.
I will respect, value, and consider everyone's opinion.
I will find the good in my neighborhood and praise it and promote it.
I will find the good in my neighborhood and praise and promote it.
To my neighbors and the neighborhoods throughout the city of Los Angeles,
To my neighborhood and the neighborhoods across the city of Los Angeles.
I pledge to do this to the best of my ability.
I pledge to do this to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Right, I'd like to make a slight change in the order of the agenda and move over to the Government Affairs Committee, motion C. And Barry Johnson.
Thanks for moving it up, because I think almost everyone in the room, in the audience, still is here for that. This came to us after the last Government Affairs Committee meeting, and I will read it. The Board of the Studio City Neighborhood Council affirms the attached resolution from the Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council titled Fast and Furious Roller Coaster, Protect Our Neighborhood from Excessive Noise, dated August 18th, 2026, and supports its call for immediate action. The SCNC commends the Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council for its initiative to protect our residential neighborhoods and quality of life in both the adjacent Toluca Lake and Studio City neighborhoods affected by the screams of the roller coaster passengers. SCNC's affirming motion will also be sent to both Councilmember Adrin Nazarian and Councilmember Nithya Raman. It's brought by Jerry Lewis and it needs a second. Thank you, Richard.
All right, for public comment, you have a voice.
Yep.
Why not?
And you got mine too, Jared?
I haven't seen your cards.
Oh, goodness. Well, good evening or good morning, I'm not sure, but my name's Roy Disney. I'm from Toluca Lake, but my first house was up here on Sunshine Terrace. So if there's a grandfather clause or any kind of legacy issue, I'm happy to speak to that. First off, I want to thank you for inviting us here and for hearing us on this subject. It is important for me to note a couple of things here. First, while at the moment the screams are only a small portion of this community, eventually Universal will engulf all of us, Studio City included. Between increased traffic, distant parking, interlopers, they're coming for all of us. As it is, Studio City can't even contain its own massive influx of DoorDash drivers, Uber drivers parking illegally pretty much everywhere. So, as a piece of history, Universal started in 1912 as a single family barn, an Indian tribe and a zoo, believe it or not. In the mid-60s, they expanded to include a tram, and now they are a $4.2 billion a year bursting at the seams theme park perched on a hillside. And if you don't know, they're in no way done. They have a 25-year vision plan that includes a second roller coaster up by Blair Drive and at least 10 more attractions. Bottom line, they have and know no bounds. This is blood sport for them. They do not play fair. They play for blood. They are bullies and they play to win. So what do we do with a beast like that? That's why I'm here tonight. The power that each of us has is in our numbers. That's why we will continue to take this neighborhood council motion to every council that is affected by this. And let me be clear about this regional development. As you know, they notify 500 feet, which is what a house does when it remodels. And that is obscene. Our group is a 501c4 called Communities United for Smart Growth, and we humbly ask for your support.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is that 2 minutes?
Next is, Steve.
I was speaking card, wasn't sure how to do it.
Well, I'd like to first thank Tess for resolution and the Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council for getting the ball rolling. Thank you for putting this on the agenda. Real quickly, I just have to compliment you on the great signage getting me here to Building 8 because I've never been here before, so good job with that. I had to say that. I'm a longtime resident of Toluca Lake, Valley Spring Lane, I guess ground zero. I look outside my kitchen window, I see the roller coaster. There's no problem seeing the roller coaster, but it's the screams coming out of the roller coaster that's the problem. And yeah, I have to say, Universal has been a pretty good neighbor. I've been there for since '94. And yeah, I've heard on social media that why do you move, across from Universal? You got to be a jackass to be moving there with all, there's going to be noise. Well, there hasn't been a problem like this before. We had Water World back in 2012. That was an intermittent noise, occasional, and they worked that out. This is a whole different beast, screaming. It's constant. It's from morning to evening. It doesn't stop, and it's disturbing. Back in '23, I was a member of CAP, and we went to meetings at Universal, and their engineers told us they have 4 mitigations, and we wouldn't hear any noise. They've solved the problem, and I wanted to believe them, and sure enough, it's not the case, and we can't live like this, and so. The problem, and they put up a couple of sound walls, and they know that's not going to fix the problem. We need them to fix the problem, and they can do it. It's going to cost money. They can do it. Thank you.
Brandon Berry.
Thank you for letting me speak. I'll try to make this fast. I timed it at 3 minutes at home, so we'll see how it goes. My name is Fred Iberry, and I am one of the longest term residents of Toluca Lake, going on 53 years. In the mid-1940s, my great-grandmother bought her first Toluca Lake home on Whipple Street, from where my great-great-grandmother, Chinda, would walk to Mass at St. Charles. I don't need to explain to you why my family and I have remained in Toluca Lake for so long. Everyone knows how special this neighborhood is, and I am here seeking help to protect it. The screaming noise from the roller coaster has put this community in peril. The residents of Toluca Lake now live 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, every few minutes of constant blood-curdling screaming from the riders on this coaster, which has multiple upside-down loops and goes over 70 miles an hour. Riders have to go through metal detectors and in order to put their belongings in lockers, so nothing will fall out of the cars on the ride. That alone should tell you the scale and velocity of this ride that results in very loud screaming by a lot of people all the time. It is immensely irresponsible for Universal executives to approve a concept on this scale built right next to a residential neighborhood and on a hillside that reflects the sound. The screams are really bad. I can hear them from inside my house as early as 9 in the morning. I can also hear them from inside my master bedroom with the windows closed at 9 at night. This past weekend, I hosted a poolside barbecue, but enjoying the outdoors with family and friends is no longer possible with the screaming. Forget about floating around peacefully in a pool raft. Good luck doing yoga in your garden or trying to meditate in your backyard anymore. It's tragic that Universal did not consider the livelihood of its neighbors and slid past us years ago during the LA County approval process, making it seem like Universal knew they were trying to get away with something wrong. To add insult to injury, this monstrosity of a structure has butchered the look of the hillside. It now looks like trash with all the metal tracks and half pipes sticking out of the ground. It seems like the designers did not care about how the hillside would look from the neighbor's point of view. By putting all these pieces together, including comments in the media by Universal executives, it reaffirms the fact that Universal prioritizes money and corporate profits over community betterment and the livelihood of the people that work very hard to live peacefully in Toluca Lake and have also supported Universal as a good neighbor for decades. I guess those days are over, and it truly feels like the biggest slap in the face. And when you turn the other cheek, you keep getting slapped over and over again. Universal has done a major disservice to the surrounding residents and property owners. They have disrespected the community by allowing this to happen. It is careless and irresponsible. If the noise doesn't stop, it will leave me no choice to sell my property and move away from this great neighborhood that I grew up in and I call home. So thank you very much.
Steve Hampart? Oh,
He spoke.
I spoke.
He spoke.
oh, sorry about that. Francesca Cora. A few minutes.
Hi, my name is Francesca Cora and I live in the Island neighborhood. And that is 74 homes on 5 small streets directly across from Universal's gate number 2. We are the Studio City neighborhood most directly affected by what happens on the Universal lot. I want to make it clear, I like being Universal's neighbor. I lived here for over 20 years. I have great affection for Universal's real estate team, and historically, I've had little to complain about other than the occasional nighttime construction. Who doesn't enjoy that? I have always actually been able to hear the other roller coaster riders from my backyard, but it's been faint enough to not ever bother me. This roller coaster is on an entirely different level. I serve on Universal's Community Advisory Panel, and like was mentioned, going back to 2023, community members were raising concern about the noise from riders. So this is nothing new. Ever since then, they have repeatedly promised us that the engineering would control the sound. Well, the coaster is testing now. Their engineering has not worked. I can hear riders screaming inside my house with the windows closed. You can imagine that it is much louder outside, and my garden is my sanctuary. When they start the full operating schedule, that screaming will continue until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And the sound wall currently being expanded, that is going to further protect their back lot. I can't imagine how it's going to do anything to protect us. The coaster is here, the wall is here, and our houses are here. So it doesn't make any sense to me. We're not asking Universal to close the coaster. We want the coaster to be successful. But the enjoyment of Universal's guests cannot come at the expense of the people who live nearby. Universal knew this could be a problem. Universal told us they had it solved, but they have not. I just have Exhibit A, because Universal did not give me any drawings to show you actually. So using my superior landscape design skills, I have drawn the wall and the coaster and our neighborhood. Thank you.
Judith Angel.
I'm gonna pass.
Okay. Tess Taylor.
You're gonna pass them.
Howdy. Tess Taylor here, Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council with a microscopic comment. I'll let the residents explain their concerns themselves. This started as a neighborhood concern that was brought to us by residents. The Greater Toluca Lake Neighborhood Council worked with residents, developed a resolution, and put Supervisor Barger on notice. She responded in less than 24 hours. You have her letter in front of you. After we brought the issue to her attention, and we will hear tonight and are hearing what the residents would like to see next. We are delighted that Studio City Neighborhood Council has agendized this. I thank Barry Johnson and President Jerry Lewis for agendizing this. And this gives another NC a chance to add its voice and reinforce our message. The resolution speaks for itself. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Board comment? Andrew?
2 points. Yes, I'm curious. I remember a time when the amphitheater was there prior to Harry Potter World or whatever it was, and it was open air. And then they sealed it. Was that community involvement? Was that, do you know the history?
Yes, I can't speak to that. I mean, even though I've lived in the area, I wasn't involved in the covering of it, but I do believe that it was.
It was.
The reason I asked is I think it would be more ammunition.
Yeah, okay.
And I completely support this, but I'm curious that this is going to 2 city offices when it's county land.
We'll send it to the whole list that's on Tess's
Well, I just see, I'm just seeing Ramen and.
And Andrew, so you know, Adrian is the councilman, right, for us. And we've been advised multiple times, he needs to be our warrior. Well, he's not so much. Catherine Barger.
That's why I was pressing.
Yeah, I understand. Catherine Barger has received millions of dollars from Universal in terms of revenue and millions of dollars in terms of campaign funds. And I believe she is as completely conflicted as humanly possible. So what are we supposed to do?
Any more comment? Richard?
Yeah, I of course was around when you had the Universal Amphitheater and you could time your dinner based on the songs. Unfortunately, they covered it up and then destroyed the whole thing. Well, what I'm more concerned with right now, who are we telling? That's county land. It's not part of City of LA. We can tell our people, our elected officials, everything we want, but they really can't do too much to tell the county what to do. And I'm almost concerned with that. When I went up there and inspected to see the noise, and I thought, well, yeah, my primary inspection with sound meter, all that kind of stuff, was sitting between the front of the ride and the first aid station, both inside and outside. And it seems to me there's quite a gap in the walls and paneling. When you consider they just built 8 new sound stages, they know how to put it inside to keep sound in. Same material you'd have roughly as inside the new sound station. Again, I'm not sure if going to our election official is gonna give us what we want, or what what's gonna break down. I don't know, I'm not saying it's bad, I don't think it's want to agree, but I think they can fix the problem if they choose to do so and put resources that way. It's not impossible.
Daniel?
I just have a question about data issues for this. Because obviously this isn't the time of resident in an amusement park had an issue. Obviously, thinking about it, a whole different county, pretty sure the people around California Adventure at Disneyland had the same issue when their roller coaster went up.
And theirs is covered.
Wait, no, can I just finish? So, my question is there any public data out there that you guys can grab and how they handled that you guys can use towards the fire for your guys?
We have tons of sound, well, we're hiring a sound company because what Universal is doing right now is they're running partial loads at intermittent times And they've got the microphones that they're using pointed directly at bushes. So they're ineffective at recording anything. And they're pressing that as the data they're using. And we are in the process of hiring our own company and recording at peak times, like Halloween event, Horror Nights starts on September 3rd. And we're going to cover that.
Right, yeah,
I also wanted to add that, I think, the Incredicoaster or California Screamin' at Disneyland, they had a problem with noise that they mitigated afterwards by covering it with half pipes. And that's a good example.
I'm just saying, there's like public notice.
That there is,
You guys,
absolutely.
sorry, sorry.
If you look at the second attachment on this agenda item, that is the Greater Toluca Lakes motion.
Right.
And these 3 pages are the last 3 pages of it are who it went to. It will include our 2 city council members, but everyone else on this list. So if you're wondering if it's gonna reach the right people, it will.
Okay, any other board comment?
Public comment.
Okay.
We did public comment. We're on board comment.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that Universal in Orlando had an issue with the ride and neighboring community. They gave that to us as an example of responding to the community. And we did research on that. That ride has been shut down. So I'm not sure that was the best example for them to give us.
Right.
But also Universal on county land, but it's affecting city. Therefore, you do need to get both involved.
The city has standing, you know.
Right, so
That's just to add to that same.
We're down to public comment.
Yeah, we
did public
Sorry.
comment.
all right. I'm gonna vote.
We all know political pressure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Motion GACC. Mercy,
Yes.
Casara,
Yes.
Victoria,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jay votes yes, Daniel,
Yes.
Dimitri. Yes. Jeff,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Richard,
Yeah.
Lori,
Yes.
Matt,
No.
motion passes. All right.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Jeff Hardwick, Public Safety and Homeless Committee. Jeff, are you there?
Yeah, give me a second. So this motion that is before the board right now, the city council actually voted on this and they actually voted some amendments, which I'm very supportive of. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this from the agenda.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, Jeff. All right,
They don't need to.
Outreach Committee, Andrew.
Excuse me, so,
Okay.
Okay, before I get
Thank
to
you
the.
all for taking the time.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for being patient.
Thank you.
I have a couple issues before I read this motion. Because I do outreach and look forward, I need to know, when our board meeting is in November because of the holiday. Because of certain events. We have an alternative date, we usually meet the fourth Wednesday, or fourth Wednesday next week. We have a alternate date.
We didn't pick one yet.
We did it the 3rd Wednesday last November because of Thanksgiving. We didn't want to do it the night before.
I just need to know that because I'm doing some forward planning. Do you want to make it the 3rd Wednesday?
Maybe it'll be that.
Okay. Do you have a date for the next outreach, the next budget meeting?
It's as needed.
Well, I'm asking about the issues we brought up earlier. About Toluca Lake, for example,
The late.
the budget,
I'm not the budget.
the movies in the park, I'm sorry.
What about movies in the park?
I thought you said that was going, is that going to budget or going to executive?
Executive.
Okay, do you have a date for that?
Not yet.
Okay. Couple of announcements, the blood drive is in, October. It's been moved from the library to, church, the Universal Unitarian Church on, Moore Park. It's noon to 5. And as we get closer, and the weekend before, we have booked a table at Farmers Market. We'll have a booth, a table, and we can promote the blood drive. The youth committee can join us. Whatever we need to talk about with stakeholders. So now I move to that worksheet that Vincent was talking about, is that decision going to be made? I think we have a couple of days before we have to make a decision where we're having a voting location. I know you put out an email, Jerry, but I don't.
Right, that would require, board members to participate and spend time going to that and actually supporting that election. And right now, I'm not sure if we have any board members who are ready to do that, but we'll work that out.
Okay, I think the deadline is like next week.
Right.
Okay. So this motion was approved by the outreach committee. The motion is a Studio City Neighborhood Council event funding for the Toluca Village Art Walk. Studio City Neighborhood Council approves sponsorship amount not to exceed $1,500 to co-sponsor the Toluca Village Art Walk scheduled for October 3rd from 3 to 7 on Toluca between Woodbridge and Moore Park. Funds will be allocated directly to vendors to cover the following: outreach and marketing expenses, event posters, promotional postcards, residential door hangers. Toluca Village Art Walk is a free, family-friendly event expecting approximately 2,000 attendees. It supports local small businesses and fosters community engagement through live music, interactive art, a car show, a fashion show, kids activities, local showcases. Now, I propose that last month we approved a motion to fund the holiday block party in December. The paperwork hasn't gone through. So what I propose is we put a hold on that, vote on this if there's interest, and see what the action is, what happens in this. I think this is a daytime event versus a nighttime event. You'll probably have more engagement. We would have a booth next to CD2 booth. So I'd like to propose putting the December Toluca Village event on hold and moving forward on that.
Public comment?
I think the October thing might be better for getting attention to the Studio City Neighborhood Council, having a table there, because the Christmas one at night is just mobbed with people. And, you know, the little Studio City Neighborhood Council table will probably be overlooked because everybody's doing merry stuff.
Okay. Board comment? Yeah.
First of all, I think we would have to probably then walk back. We've already agreed to the holiday party, and budgeted for that. I think we'd have to walk that back in a separate vote.
Okay.
And that could possibly happen at the next meeting. However, I mean, we've been in process with this. I had submitted this as an event. Turns out that submitting it as an event was not the way to go. So that it needs to be resubmitted, as payment only. There are different things required at that time. Do you know, this says that it would, the money would go directly to the businesses. Do you know, would we be invoiced by the same person that I'm holding an invoice from for the holiday party?
I don't know how that would work. I don't know.
Okay, so you don't, so we,
My guess is that that person would get an invoice from XYZ and then send it to us to be paid.
I don't know if it,
Similar to moves in the
I
budget.
know, but we need to know who we're paying at the time that we request from the
I
city.
think we
clerk's
do
office.
it on movies in the park, did we?
It's a whole different subject, let's just
Same
deal
thing.
with this, okay, but it, we would need to know who we're going to be paying in order to get approval to do this.
So I have an example of an improved motion by Sherman Oaks Neighborhood Council for a series of events, and there's nothing specific in there. It says exactly what this says. And it's
But
something
I'm
that's
thinking
been,
down the
there's no
road,
vendors listed.
okay, I'm thinking down the road and how to handle stuff. I'm currently holding an invoice from Vitello's. While the city clerk,
You have a W-9?
yes, you sent that, I
Right.
have that.
Right.
But while the city clerk felt there's not a conflict there, it is possible, seems to me quite possible, there could be a conflict if we are paying a board member's brother.
Okay,
So
so,
I'm not sure, let me finish, please.
no, I've already addressed it with the city attorney. It's been
Did you?
cleared. I have. And
Did
no,
you?
I can't let you continue to say that when I've addressed it with the city attorney.
You
who has
address
cleared it.
payment,
I have,
it's okay?
there's no conflict.
Let me just, okay, let me just say, I am working with the city clerk's office currently to, and I hopefully, okay, that Toluca Lake cover the cost of the holiday party. We have a few months to do this and to, walk that, and Tess is on board. We have a few months to get it through and I think the October is a little too soon, given that this is not yet a proven co-sponsorship. And there has been a lot of work so far put in to trying to recoup that 1,500 everybody would like to see, some people would like to see come back. So I'm already in motion on that. If you switch it up, fine, see what if we can do it for this one, but it doesn't leave much time for them to bring forward votes and for us to bring forward the proper motions of votes. And I think we have to walk back the vote on the holiday party and agree to put that back in our budget as well. So I'm for sticking with the holiday party. We said we'd give one a try. I'd like to give that one a try before we continue with Tahunga.
All right, any other board comment?
I echo what Kim just said.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and vote.
Just one quick note, about a sort of typo on the lettering of the motion, and it's DPC when it should be outrage, but, okay, DPCA. So,
Can you clarify the yes and the no votes? We're voting to approve the $1,500 for the December.
Correct.
Is a yes vote?
For this,
No.
October.
For the October,
Right,
it's
right.
Tahunga Village Art Walk.
Voting yes would be approving for October. Didn't last month we already approve
Yes.
December? Yeah,
We
December.
approved it, but it's not been funded, approved by the city.
Right, but
But
we
it's
as a board
sticks
voted.
and it binds, it's we've
Okay,
approved
but
that.
again, it has not been approved, it hasn't been funded. So I'm suggesting that we let it slide, and sure, we could wait till next month and have another motion on it. But I'm now offering a better alternative for engagement with stakeholders. We're talking about, you're talking about how to engage stakeholders with elections and what we do. This is the perfect example, and frankly, I believe now that this is better than the October event. If you've ever
You
been
mean the December event?
to the block party, it's at night, it's cold, it's dark, it doesn't have the tables that this event will have. So that's my thoughts on it.
Is this going to potentially, because part of that was to test in December,
Correct.
so we're going to advance the test into the October event.
That's,
So that was part of our reasoning for $1,500. Yeah, call.
But if you do nothing, you have this one and the December one.
Correct. We would have to then vote another time to undo the December, so we're.
Agreed, but we're voting.
but that's not an issue now.
No.
I'm saying this is just a motion before the board.
Right.
Why don't you amend and say this supersedes the December event, and then you don't have to wait till next month?
That's a good idea.
Just someone offer an amendment. This supersedes the December event. Done.
I move to amend to supersede the December event.
I second.
Nice.
Scott? That's a very good idea, thank you.
Board comment.
And it's kind of
Tim?
No,
I'm just gonna say real quick.
Could you speak up, man? This is really hard hearing.
Sorry, I'm just gonna say real quick, I see both sides of this, but to Andrew's point, if we're gonna engage stakeholders, this is probably a better event than the Christmas event, because you're gonna get more stakeholders. Actual stakeholders at this versus the Christmas event, you're gonna get people from all over. But if we're looking to really engage stakeholders, and what he's trying to do, this is probably a better event. Move to.
I just want to finish it, then we probably cannot engage then Toluca Lake in this time frame. So.
What's Toluca Lake have to do with this?
They are trying to work out that they pay the sponsorship fee for the holiday party.
I know nothing about that.
I know, I told you I'd let you know in good time, I'm working with the clerk's office, I've been working with Jerry, I'm working with Tess.
Whoa.
It's been, hold on.
That has nothing to do with this motion as written.
Oh, correct,
So can we not stick to the subject?
people keep bringing up this 1,500 and there
I'm
was a way
not,
to
I'm
do
talking
it.
about this motion.
All right,
I don't understand how this even.
The amended motion.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do that, hold the vote. All right, so. Voting to say that this supersedes, number of that.
Okay, do we need to read an amended version or we're okay with it?
I think we have to read the amended version.
We're good with it.
I think we're good.
Right.
Okay, Mercy,
She is refused.
right, sorry. Casera,
Yes.
Victoria,
Yes.
Tim.
Yeah.
Dean,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jay votes yes, Daniel,
Yes.
Lucine. Is not here,
Yes.
sorry, Dimitri, it's late, Dimitri is no. Jeff,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Richard,
Yeah.
Lori,
Yes.
Matt.
Yeah.
Motion passed.
The amended motion.
Amend
Now
now.
we gotta vote on. No public comment, Scott has nothing to say.
I got lost because I heard that this was contingent upon Toluca Lake.
Oh, is that an amended motion? No.
But I didn't understand what that had to do with.
Nothing, it doesn't, so we're done.
All right, he's good. No board comment? All right, let's vote. Put it, Richard?
No, oh, I thought you took.
No, what are we voting on, Jerry?
We're voting on the
Okay.
amendment. We're saying supersede December one.
Oh,
Now vote on the
that
amendment
was
motion.
the language, now we're
Right,
voting on the motion.
Right.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Mercy,
Not here.
sorry. Casara,
Yes.
Victoria,
Yes.
Tim,
No,
Dean,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jay votes yes, Daniel,
Yes.
Dimitri, no. Jeff,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Richard,
Yeah.
Lori,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
motion passes, all right.
Government affairs.
I have one more outreach item, sorry, Harry. Third. I just want to let you know that, Station 78 on Whitsett is having their annual pancake breakfast. And I reached out to the station, it's in October, it's fire awareness, but I just reached out to them, let them know that, we're gonna support them, or we'd like to help them out, that's all. There's no motion, there's no written, we're not gonna table it, but I just, I'm having conversations with them, and just to let you know, that's it.
Okay.
I know it's another event, and I apologize, but
Anything
I
else?
was thinking, no, that's it.
Right, Barry, well.
So there are two more government affairs motions. Do you want me to read them? I do want to say that at city council meetings, they do not read the entire motion. You should all have them in front of you anyway, so is it necessary to read it?
We read them before we came to the board meeting anyhow, presumably, so.
And the first one is just more on cost-effective innovations for our street light system. Promoting, government efficiency and innovation and audits with our street lights, just more of the same. We've done some others. This is yet another council file on it, encouraging them to do that. So does anybody have any questions?
Public comment?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I don't know about this deferred maintenance of aging infrastructure. I think it's mainly copper wire theft and vandalism. Also, these special plates that they are going to put on the bottom of the light post. I was told that they don't have any. They don't even have the screws to put them on. However, they're making their own. I think that they could outsource them and just have some manufacturer make them for the city. We don't have to pour aluminum into little molds or something, or just make them out of plastic, temporary. It's, I don't know what the, I thought it was supposed to be in the, special election for the Bureau of Street Lighting District 5,000. And now we're coming back, is this a different way that we're just gonna repair the structure, but not have it separate from the street lighting district?
All right, board comment?
All this does is say we agree to have someone do a study on something we have no control over, but that's what this does.
Anyone else?
And the key is cost-effective innovations, which this city could certainly use more of.
All right,
Public comment.
public comment's over. All right. I move we vote.
Percy. Sarah.
No.
Victoria.
No.
Kim.
Same.
Dean.
Yeah.
Andrew.
Aye.
Jay votes yes. Daniel.
No.
Dimitri.
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
Jerry.
Yes.
Richard.
Yeah.
Lori.
Yes.
Matt.
No.
Motion passes.
All right, next one, Barry.
And
I need to, recuse, because this is in the bid.
Okay.
This is lighting project in the bid.
All right, go ahead. Okay, Barry.
this one, it's basically supporting, something that was already approved by the Ventura Boulevard Plan Review Board, that our councilwoman is shepherding along. And in committee, this came to the Government Affairs Committee the same day as our committee meeting, which is why it's being brought by Jay. But we just thought it was something that was good to support for Ventura Boulevard and shows a little bit of goodwill towards our councilwoman, which there isn't too much goodwill towards most of the time.
All right, public comment?
Oh, and we need a second.
I need a second. Okay, Richard. No public comment, board comment? No, Scott?
This passed. So I do understand what Barry's saying about Romney. We're on the specific plan and the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that passed the city council, a very fast track. No controversy, no public comment.
Yeah, so we should be commenting on something past.
I'm not saying that, I'm just saying it passed.
All right. Okay, board comment?
And we should be voting on stuff that already passed. It's like a waste of everybody's time.
Any other board comment? All right, I move that we vote.
Mercy.
Yes.
Sarah. Victoria.
Yes.
Kim,
Abstain.
You can vote, right? You can vote.
sorry, I got a grid, so I apologize.
I know.
Right,
I can't do money things.
right,
I just can't do.
right, I think the rules are.
But the other stuff was not money.
Okay.
This does have money.
That's right.
The other stuff didn't have money,
So why are we talking about the other stuff?
because she lost her ability to vote.
Yeah, but you're the one talking about time all the time.
I know that.
Okay, but now you're cutting.
Dean left because it's in the
Right,
bid.
Dean abstained for it. Andrew,
No.
Jay votes yes. Daniel,
Yes.
Dimitri.
Yes.
Jeff,
No.
Jerry,
Yes.
Richard,
Yeah.
Lori,
Yes.
Matt,
No.
motion passed.
Right,
For the record, in recuse, not abstain, they are different. You said the word abstain.
Got it.
all right, Transportation Committee,
Someone tell Dean he can come back.
Transportation Community, motion TCA, the Board of Studio City Neighborhood Council supports Studio City resident, construction owner Hannah O's request to the City of Los Angeles in coordination with Metro to evaluate and pursue a funding snack for a 2-year pilot program for an open air trolley on Ventura Boulevard in Studio City, connecting the Universal City Studio City Metro B-Line station with the Ventura Boulevard commercial corridor, built from one, a measure and multi-year subdivisional program application to the San Fernando Valley Council of Governments for capital costs. 2, LADBS existing low carbon transit operations program allocation and the Prop C transit service expansion program for pilot period operating costs. And 3, a feasibility study to confirm ridership cost and route design, launching ahead of the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games.
public comment. None, board comment. Daniel,
So we talked about this in committee, and, I think it's a good idea. With the Olympics and everything coming on, it would increase some of the, like, I guess you wanna say, tourism or to businesses within the committee. Plus, as she brought up, there was an actual plan in place prior to the 94 earthquake, but then 94 earthquake changed all of that, and the city had approved that plan, and it was gonna go up and down from Shamrocks Galleria to Universal. But when the earthquake hit, they scrapped it, the earthquake. That's what we're figuring, so there was already something that was already approved, that just never got acted on, and she's kind of building off of that, just so you guys know.
any other, board comment?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I think a trolley's a great idea. I do not think that it needs to be an expense of the city and the taxpayers. Beverly Garland has one that goes from there to Universal. You know, if the private businesses want to do it, great. I don't think it needs to be a taxpayer funded thing. We have buses, we have other micro metros and things, and I don't see why we should vote to have taxpayers.
And it's not coming from
Right.
taxpayer money. It's grants that are out there waiting for us to take.
She has examples of similar projects all funded by grants. It's all in motion that we.
I would say that this is, I mean, I heard her presentation. I think she's really solid. She's put a lot of thought into this.
Yep.
And I also think it really could be good for businesses. As somebody who walks and does all sorts of things in Studio City, including driving, it would be really pleasant to be able to take a trolley from point A to point B. It's very different than hopping on the bus and who knows what the heck on a bus. So I think it brings some element of charm to Studio City and accessibility for potential consumers, the various shops.
Where would agree on that? Where are the grants from?
It's,
City grants, correct?
no, it's 3 different things, yeah.
Jeff Hardwick, comment.
Yeah, I'm generally supportive of this. I just had a question about what do these trolleys look like? I'd like to see what the proposed vehicle looks like. I don't want them to be kind of like those Starlight Tours, obnoxious looking trolleys, but I'm just curious as to what they would eventually look like, if anyone has any idea about that.
Good question. Nothing's been.
But she used West Hollywood's trolley as an example, which doesn't look like Starlight.
Any other board comment?
I would just say, in the bid, we explored this and have been wanting to do this for a long time, something similar to move people about, and especially to take advantage of the 400 car parking structure at B of A that's not used as a source. We partnered as a co-pilot with CVS here years ago in some buses that they had, and they were big passenger buses. And the ridership was, we did on Saturdays and Sundays. And it didn't really work, but I think the trolley, depending what it looks like and how promotional it is, it could be effective, and it would be a good trial, perhaps, to see what ridership looks like. Certainly potentially seasonal and et cetera, but it would be good to see, and I think it would promote business and, more usership in Studio City business.
Would access to this trolley be free?
That is her business plan that she presented to us. That it would be.
Great, I move we go.
I don't think it would work well without that being free, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's
what I mean, yeah.
All right, anyone is second?
I'll second it.
All right, thank you.
Transportation TCA, Mercy,
Yes.
Isara,
No.
Victoria,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Dean,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jay votes yes. Daniel,
Yes.
Mitri,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
Passes.
Sustainability Beautification Committee. Scott Mandel.
Playing the role of Scott Mandel today for the lecture series is me, Chip Meehan. Do you want me to read it or just paraphrase it?
Paraphrase.
So paraphrase. So what we're doing is proposing, or will do, off-site lectures that will be geared more towards natural sciences. So I had put a bunch of the proposed vendors down here, including, we have an author who's joined the board who has done a book on Sepulveda Dam Basin. The wildlife preserve there is about 50 years old, and the growth of that is kind of an interesting story in Studio City that we don't tell very much. Annenberg Wildlife Crossing is opening 12/2. I just came this evening from the Valley Plaza Library, where there was a CD2 sponsored Living with Coyotes seminar, which was pretty interesting and very well attended. And we have probably 18 or 20 that we could do pretty easily. The thought was to do it in the library the year before. When Tony Knight was sustainability chair and Adele was his co-chair, they did one of the wildlife rescue groups over there, and it was standing room only in the library. The library is multimedia, they've got parking, they accommodate as well for lectures. They have rules about language over there, which would be in conflict with us, so I don't think having a meeting over there is a good idea, but certainly having a presentation. We've spoken to the librarian, who is very much interested in supporting us and getting behind us, having more community come in. They get exposed to the library services and use more of that. We would have access to the library database and his promotional effort, and he ours. And that's kind of good to get that sort of tie-in, both with the library and the other people that are there. So that is the plan, to have at this point 6. We could probably, I think, take it to 8. These are very easy, no load lectures. The lecturer has a presentation that comes in that's between 30 minutes and an hour. They do their presentation. We start at 6. They do the presentation. there's a Q&A. We're all necessarily out of there at 8 because the library closes at 8. So it's a quick, easy 2-hour Monday through Friday. Some of the other topics which we could potentially take it to, particularly when it was cute animals on a rescue. And even if it was something more complex, there are more simplistic versions of the curriculum, so it's kid friendly. So we could even do something sort of during a holiday break when the kids are around to kind of do something in the afternoon during the week or on the weekends, but that's a bit more curating that it needs. So right now we're looking for approval for the 6 adults, which is really just a passage of the wand to make it official. But in discussing what we wanted to do, we think it's important to have refreshments there, which will mostly be kind of granola bars. I don't think we'd go pizza, but it will be wrapped snacks and beverages. And also we would like some of the funding in there for promotional information to get some posters up and get some other collateral materials that's there. We pulled a ballpark number of up to 2,000. I don't think there's any way we can get to the 2,000, even if we were spending freely, so that's a high number. So basically, we're looking for approval to make it an official lecture series, not just a series of special meetings, which is the other way to do it, and looking for some money for refreshments and promotional materials.
Public comment? Scott?
So the Sustainability Committee, as Chip mentioned, has been very successful with this. These types of events are well received. The Sustainability Committee will handle it. We love board participation, but it's not necessary. So all we want is the approval and the money, and we'll handle it, and we'll have some good engagement and outreach for the community, and the library is a great place.
All right, board comment.
So this is,
Victoria.
I'm happy to see this series of speakers. It's great for the community, for education and cultural enlightenment. I just it's just making me think how the Park and Rec Department came to us a few months, maybe last year, with the same series, educational series, and we were very quick to shoot her down. And I'm just glad that we have revisited this for sustainability and beautification. And in the future, I hope that we can do some type of cultural engagement other place.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. And I was always hoping we could actually have 2 tracks of lectures. One that would be sort of, I forgot her name, but she had some really cool stuff. Miranda had everything from, I mean, indigenous authors and all kinds of cool stuff that we would not normally get here. We could do something different here. So starting to get those different groups of people, 25 to 50 at a time, it's valuable.
They did those. They went on to do them. We didn't.
Yeah, she found her funding from.
Yeah, Matt?
I just have a question. Who from this board will attend this on a Tuesday night?
They're available, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a topic, yes.
How many people?
Well, about 4 or 5, but.
When is it?
There'll be, it's the,
over the next year.
yeah, I mean, it's like Mondays or Tuesdays, from 6 to 8 at the library in that community room.
Right. Well, I'd go to some.
Yeah, I mean, and we can get much deeper with this too, and we could start to farm and figure out what works.
We've been researching this together. It's pretty much turnkey. So when we have a speaker, they have all the tech, they have the presentation. We give them the room. The library is on board. We just have to figure out schedules. And booking a room at a city facility is easy. It's permit free, insurance free, all that kind of stuff. It's very, very simple. I've already explored it with the city and it's very simple.
Right, Kim?
I do think that is a high amount. It's $333 per, which is a lot. I mean, we don't normally spend anything like that. I mean, I do have concerns. In the past, we've had to handle each separate one of these as a separate event. I don't know with this one, but I'd be happier if the amount's brought down, so we have to earmark that for.
What's your bid, Kim?
Half of that.
What do you guys think?
Was there a plan to give the speakers a stipend?
No,
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 Okay, so
because they're all paid by their own organizations. This is for
Refreshments.
promotion and refreshments. And if we want, yes, just that,
We have it up to 2,000.
yes.
right, right. Let's go ahead, go.
All right, so
Mercy,
yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Victoria,
Yes.
Kim,
No.
Dean,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes,
Jay votes yes, Daniel,
Yes.
Dimitri.
yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Jerry.
yes.
Richard,
yes, I hope we discuss something to do with the fauna, not just the flora. Thank you.
we need more money for that. Lori,
Yes.
Matt,
No,
So,
that's it. All right, motion passed.
social affairs, Mercy.
excuse me, I have one more from beautification. Just an update that, we've been doing the cleanups, for almost a year, and we picked up, more than 200 bags in that time, which comes out to about 8,500 pounds of trash and debris and litter. And, we've engaged stakeholders, we've had, literally hundreds of stakeholders, and what's great is there's been a small, repeat factor, not just, retired homeowner, retired stakeholders, but, local high school kids who keep coming back. They're not even doing it for the credit, they're just doing it for the engagement. So, I just wanted to share that, and the fact that we have another one coming up in September. So,
I want to thank Andrew for being, organizing those, and I've been to 2 of them, and I think it's great.
3 more and you're gonna get a vest and a butter.
Okay.
They
When it
were,
cools off.
they were without,
Yeah, when it cools off, right?
last time they didn't have refreshments.
Yes.
Weren't you supposed to bring them?
No, we had homemade. Oh, and we've also had, elected to show up, a Nazarian showed up, with his sons. This month, we have representatives from, Supervisor Barger's office, the mayor's office, and Robin's office will be there.
All right, anything else? Andrew?
No, so it's like a mini, coffee with a cop, if you really want to talk to our field deputy. One-on-one as you're picking up trash. It's a great opportunity.
It is. Right, cultural affairs, Mercy.
During our last cultural affairs meeting on the 6th, we had a lot of project ideas from festivals to cultural dance performances. And we have to narrow down these ideas to maybe probably about 3 or 4, because we're gonna ask for funding for these also. So one idea was combining 4 events into one. An international food and music and arts festival with dance performances. And then, and perhaps tie that into like a centennial celebration. And then we're definitely gonna continue doing the movies in the night, or movie night, but it will, we're talking about some alternative locations. Perhaps rooftop decks or close off the street. And this has been done. A Viva watch party was with Magnolia and Vibration was closed off, and it was a great success. 8,000 people attended according to Adrid. So it's an alternative, or we can do a movie series. We can have one in the park, and we can have one on the street, one on the rooftop deck. So these are just ideas that we're gonna continue to talk about. And we also discussed definitely participating in the stakeholder music in the park, because that's already going to be done. And it's kind of we get a free booth, and it's gonna be kind of a great way to promote Studio City Neighborhood Council, and we don't have to do anything. So that's kind of a no-brainer. There was an opportunity to participate in the River Walk project by we talked about the artwork being displayed by local artists. And so that will be formally discussed in our next meeting by Scott. And then other centennial ideas, we talked about posting the history of Studio City on a bi-weekly basis by two great historians that are on the committee. So that's another thing we can talk to Andrew about, because that would be a posting on the site. And perhaps, I think this was Barry's idea, is maybe we do a centennial parade down Ventura Boulevard. It's a huge undertaking, and it would involve multiple organizations from BID and all the all the other CD2, CD4, and Chamber of Commerce, etc. And perhaps even, contact talent agents and movie studios and do, have it be a star-studded event, parade like it was, years ago. When was that other parade? Whenever it was. I mean, it's huge undertaking, and that funding would definitely come from all of these other organizations, and including manpower, because we would have the ability to do any of that. So these are just ideas I'm just throwing out there. And the last one would be a centennial gala. That's all.
Barry.
I wanted to mention about movies in the park. The last one we did, I believe the budget was 3,000. We didn't spend that much. So if we're talking about Toluca Lake owing us 50%, it's not 50% of 3,000. It's 50% of what we spent. And I know some people tonight were saying they owe us 1,500. They don't. It's half of what we spent.
I think 2,400 is what the total.
So it would be 1,200.
I think.
Anything else?
I think it's ridiculous we're counting these dollars.
Anything else on cultural affairs? All right. Land use.
Nothing.
I'd just like the board comment about. Yes, I love all the great ideas, like the parade, and one other event that I just wanted to see if you're interested in. I saw someone, a couple cities do Chalk Fest, which are really cool, where groups come out and they draw street art, and it brings out families, groups, companies.
We had discussed that with Nynthia's group to do on the south side of the river between Coldwater, because it's a flat, clean space there.
And Richard?
Yeah, just put on the record the changing date for our meeting in December. And make sure it ends up on the website. Thank you.
November.
We
are in December.
Just one comment. I think all cultural fairs, your ideas are good. You guys thought about also reaching out to LA and Amendment, like what the Chamber of Commerce did about all of that, and getting it social media wise and getting out there.
Who do we reach out to? Just.
There's a guy named Evan, he lives in Studio City.
I have his email address.
All right, we're down to the last item. I know you want to say here.
No, you skipped land use. No, actually, there are two cases that land use have to address on Wednesday, September 9th.
But nothing recently, no, since the last.
Yeah, there's two new ones.
All right,
Hey, Barry. Just as of watching the time, we've got on the agenda, times recommended, we passed over everyone almost like double.
It's a recommended time. This meeting can go as long as.
Okay, but it's recommended time, we never hit it.
By law, by the Brown Act, we can go beyond the stated deadline.
That's your prerogative.
No,
all
that's
right,
the
we're
Brown
up
Act.
to item number 21. We're gonna go through every agenda item. Comments about board members of that, resolution for the City Neighborhood Council. I recommend that anyone who believes this meeting should be shorter, send me recommendations on how we can do it. We can probably scale down the number of motions that we cover per meeting.
Like,
Right.
I think definitely motions that have already passed, don't you?
Send me all the ideas you have about how we can do it.
But there's also a lot of discussion by board members that could have been done one-on-one by either attending a committee that they're now taking 10 minutes to talk about and done it with that committee chair. besides trying to do it in this meeting tonight. If I had kept count of the amount of minutes done that could have been done outside of this board meeting by one-on-one board members with the committee chair, we could have gotten rid of 45 minutes right there.
Great ideas, send them to
And
me.
I'm not kidding.
I agree with you, send them to me, I'll curate it, then we can look at what we'll do to adjust. All right, motion that we adjourn. Second, all right.
That passes.
That passes.
Sorry.
I heard you very.
But it's true.